Hello everyone, welcome to Onyx Earth Tarot. Everything you need to know about me is in the description box below. So we are back with another pick a card reading. It's timeless and we're going to kind of play around with the what makes you attractive topic. So it's kind of love based. I'm going to look at it with an emphasis on that crush energy since I know you guys like that a lot. But as always, it can apply to any type of connection, romantic or otherwise. So we're going to call it what makes you refreshing. So how do you come across the people in a refreshing way? Again, emphasis on romantic. We've got the decks to clarify, but also this is just how people in general find you refreshing. Hence the thumbnail, which reads fresh juice please. Okay, that's why we have the selection. Now I'm not going to delay this any further. We will hop right into the pile selection. Now this is the point in the reading in which those of you that are visually impaired, or if you simply like to listen to me verbalize the descriptions to make your selections, you can do so here. Pile 1 is the coconut water. Pile 2 is the lemonade or lemon water if you don't do sugar. And then pile 3 is the orange juice. And our last pile, pile 4, is the strawberry juice. I will give you a moment to select your pile. And if you need more time, go ahead and pause the video. All right, pile 1, my coconut water pile. There was immediately music playing when I started to prepare for your pile. So that's interesting. So I will probably put channeled songs in or shuffled for the piles that may not get them for all of you. So just check it out in the description box below. Okay, so let me see what makes you refreshing. How is that translating to your attraction? Because coconut water is truly refreshing. So let's see. Tell me about my pile 1s. What makes them refreshing? How do people see them in an attractive way? Specifically from a romantic perspective, with emphasis on that crush energy that they all like so much. Let's, oh, it's a lot. All right. I will say the 2 cards that came out that I won't, I may take and just shift to the bottom. Let me see what's at the bottom. Look, I'm being indecisive. People don't really know. And you know what? I'm going to take what I have for that reason, because at the bottom is the chameleon spirit, which is that ever-changing, shifting, fitting in anywhere, like illusion-based energy. Like chameleons can literally shift coloring. Not all of them, but like it's known for being a species that is very adaptive, that can kind of just shift and morph into any environment. So I was already getting here with the 2 that came out. You've got porcupine spirit, time for beginner mind, and then swan spirit, time for a deep dive. So something about you may come across as rough around the edges, but still very beautiful, right? With the swan spirit and porcupine, like very sharp, but at the same time very pretty. It's like rose and thorns. Like maybe that could be relevant for you, but like you're a rose with the thorns. That's kind of what's refreshing about you. Like you may look very sweet, very innocent, but there's a very sharp edge to you, you know, if people get too close. And that's refreshing, because I don't know, so it's almost like people kind of expect you to be like sort of angelic, or to be attracted to styles, whether it's clothes, makeup, just your overall appearance. Like something about your natural appearance may lead people to believe that you would be more in that swan energy, but you're like, nah, I'm the edge. Give me sharp any day, right? Like someone that kind of could have a very wholesome look, but is very interested in like tattoos and unique hairstyles and coloring and stuff like that. That could be you. And even if it's not like that extreme physically, just something about your energy, you come across as very sweet, but there's a certain sharpness, okay? Especially since at the bottom you have that chameleon spirit, act as if. You're very comfortable in your skin. You're very comfortable with who you are and how you come across. And you don't feel the need to be anything other than who you are in any moment. And that can change by the mood. So you don't feel like you need to pretend to feel good when you're not. You'll be as sharp as you want to be. You don't feel like you need to be tough in certain situations. You're willing to be soft and emotionally vulnerable when you see fit. Act as if you will be as you wish to be accordingly, right? And but again, that energy, that blend of sharp and softness together. Notice the two animals are facing the same directions because they don't all, hence the chameleon. Again, you can kind of be whatever you want to be in any type of environment, especially with the chameleon spirit being here. Okay? And act as if is you're the type to kind of even silently, like you, even if you're not a loud person, like if you're not a person that commands attention openly, you do so naturally because you act as if you're meant to be in any space, regardless of experience, regardless of age, gender, whatever the space, whatever it is, you don't care. You walk in like you own it. Okay, so let's pull from the tarot deck and see what's going on more with what it is that makes you refreshing. Tell me more about what makes pile one refreshing. All right. The Traveler. Look at that free spirit energy. That's Uranus and Aquarius energy. Very similar to that chameleon. Whatever you want to be, you'll do. However you want to look, you will. However you want to speak and carry yourself, you will. And it doesn't come across as phony or acting or try hard, because it goes based on your emotions, how you feel. With time for beginner mind and deep dive, it's like anytime you feel a new energy coming in or a new emotion coming in, you may shift your whole appearance or the way that you are based on it, right? Like when you're happy, you can tell. When you're down, you can tell. Like it just, whenever you dive deep within yourself and decide it's time for a shift, for a change, you will. You have no issues starting fresh and being fresh and just starting over, right? With beginner mind and the Traveler. This is the Fool. It says adventure, potential. You always see the potential in situations. You're always down for an adventure. You may be the person that any friend, like you may have a wide, because this is social energy with Aquarius. It's the house of, it's 11th house of networking and acquaintances. You may have a lot of like casual friendships, right? Maybe not close friends, but like, especially with that porcupine, like you may not let people get too close, but you may have like a lot of social people that know that they can call you, and you may be with the emo group, and then you may be with like the artsy group, and then the indie group. Like you could be with any group you want to be, and you're always down to go and experience something, especially things that are new and unique and unfamiliar to you. You see it as an adventure. And so people like that. That's what makes people interested. They know that they can call pile one, and pile one isn't going to judge any situation. Pile one is just ready to dive in head first and just experience it. Okay, that's you. So that's beautiful energy. Just ready to take a leap, ready to jump off the cliff, doesn't care. Okay, that's what makes you refreshing. So let's see more. You may be a little rough, because I do often knock the stand, I'm not gonna lie, but I feel like I've hit it like 5 times in a row. And that porcupine, like I feel like you may be a little rough. Some of you may be a little clumsy, but it's cute. You know what I mean? Like it's still graceful. Like you have your own little clumsy edge or roughness about you. Unintentionally, it's just natural, but it works for you. It doesn't like push people away. It's just people just accept that that's a part of you. Tell me more about pile one. What makes pile one refreshing? That's my last 2. Good. So we've got 3 of crystals. Yeah, that's that energy. That's that Aquarius, Uranus energy there. 3 of crystals, collaboration and productivity. Right? So like you're very productive, like you get things done. They know if anyone calls you, you're reliable. Like you can do anything, you can start any project, you can get anything done, and you will dive deep into it and just make it happen, right? Like you do well in groups of people on teams, and people really, really love that collaborative spirit that you have, and how you're always down to jump into a group and just make things go. Okay. I guess I'll take it in reverse. It did not come out in reverse. It shifted when I moved this card. But we have the Knight of Shells, charm and passion, which is hilarious because in the reverse it's like you're not that charming or passionate. I think it's that guarded energy. Like, so in reverse, it doesn't mean that you're not that way. It means that you don't express it. So what'll happen is you're the type of person, you're always down to start something, you're always down for the adventure, you're always down to build something in a group, but you won't necessarily let people get too close, hence that Aquarius energy. So it's you know, again, it's the casual friendships versus the close ones of the 5th house of Leo. So it's like you're always involved in some type of community endeavor, some type of group thing. You're always bouncing from group to group for the most part. But like people, you don't, like with the Knight of Shells, you don't let people get too close. Like you're very selective about the people that actually get to see the swan spirit, right? Like people see the chameleon, people see the porcupine, they see glimpses of the swan, but only those that are closest to you get to actually see the swan. And I mean internally, because with these here, I see a very unconventional beauty. Like you're very, very attractive, like the swan, like in a very graceful, natural way, but something about your appearance or the way you style yourself, it's an edge. There's an edge, okay? There's something different about something that will make you stand out from other people, okay? Let's see what's at the bottom. The King of Shells, harmony, integrity. I love that energy because while you're guarded, it's not like a guarded from like I mean, it could be, but people don't see it as guarded from like a negative perspective. Like people don't see your boundaries or your emotional boundaries as a limitation to the connection. Hence why you have a lot of people that like you, even if you deep dive to yourself. The King of Shells is someone that is very open and expressive with their love and their passion, even if they won't let you get personally close. Right? Like they'll show you love, they'll show you compassion, they'll help you with your emotional issues, they'll do what they can to support you and be close. Like this is the type of person that will allow you to feel close to them, and then you're the type of person that would allow people to feel close to you, but really don't know anything about you at all with the Knight of Shells in reverse. And some of you, the way that I'm reading it like the person, you may have a person that you're asking about or that specifically finds you refreshing with the King of Shells, only because once I started reading the energy, it almost shifted away from you. If you caught that, I caught that. So yeah, there may be someone specifically that embodies this King of Shells energy coming in to your pile. But definitely people love how down for whatever you are, okay? And they love how refreshing, ironically enough, you are. Like that is the question, but that's literally what it is people find attractive about you, is how refreshing you are. So that's interesting that came out in the first pile. So let's see what is happening with these astrology-based oracle decks. Let me get clarity. Tell me more. And that was quick. What makes pile 1 refreshing? Okay, hold on, because this is more air sign energy. I'd like to get it to balance. I may have to adjust the blinds. I think I have them a little too far open. I do. Let me shift. All right, so we're back. So yes, we fixed the lining. Now we can see Libra, the peacemaker, number 9. So again, people love how balanced you are. You have a perfect amount of edge with a perfect amount of grace, just enough energy of beginner, like always ready to go, like surface level, like you can carry a casual, superficial conversation, but you can also go deep. Like something about you, like you're, again, that peacemaker energy is very balanced in your skills and your personality. Just, give just enough, don't reveal just enough, like that balance. Like you're a straddle the fence kind of a person in a very positive way. That's what people like. Libra also is ruled by Venus, which is also that swan energy, that beauty, that grace, like very attractive. People find you as very, very attractive, but not in a boring way. right? Like, I don't mean that traditional is boring. It's just that there's something very different that will make you stand out. Like, in a room of many, many beautiful swans, most beautiful swans in the world, something about you will make you stand out. That's what's refreshing about you physically. At the bottom, you've got Cancer energy coming in, the nurturer. So yeah, very I will say feminine energy coming through, but like I said, it's a bit aggressive, right? Like, it's not, it doesn't seem as such with this Libra energy. You wouldn't think that, but it is. Like, there's a balance of both sides, but you can go to either side. Like, you can go to 10, you can be a porcupine, or you can be a swan. Like, it doesn't matter. It just, whatever the situation calls for, you act as if, right? But you try your hardest to maintain your center of that watery, balanced, peacemaker, nurturing energy. You try your best to be supportive of people, all of the people around you, and that is what makes you so refreshing. Because not many people are really like that value peace, that value like calm and nurturing and supportive energy. So something like the fact that you are genuinely that way, that is what makes you refreshing to many, many people. Specifically, if there's a king of shells lingering around, that person in specific. Okay. So let's see. Let me pull from Moonology. Tell me more about pile 1 and what makes them refreshing. Interesting. Okay. Surrender to the divine full moon. Yeah, you don't take no for an answer, right? So like, again, in your peacemaker energy, you're not a pushover. It's not about you're not a peacemaker. You don't balance both sides out of a place from fear. You do so, one, for peace, one, to make sure that people feel supported, and all, two, to make people feel supported. Sorry, I'm like 1-1. But you do it because you want to keep the peace. You do it because you see the value in many perspectives and all of the personalities that surround you. But at the end of the day, with Libra, that is justice energy. Right is right and wrong is wrong. So in the instances where you feel strongly and passionate about something, you won't really budge with surrender to divine. Like, you're not the type to surrender, and you're also not the type to leave things to chance. Hence the time for beginner mind and the traveler here. Like, you're not leaving anything to chance, to circumstances, to the universe. You will take the initiative any chance you get to do things, to make things happen. Like, you make a move when you have to. Like I said, you straddle the fence a lot of times, but when you feel like that's what you should do. But in the moment it's time for a beginner mind, you act as if. That is your motto. Like, act as if, and like you move. Okay, so let's see what's at the bottom of the deck. Nothing will come of the situation, void of course moon. That kind of like affirms what I just said. Like, you're not gonna wait for things to change in your mind. Like, you have to act. You have to be in that traveler full energy to get things done. Hence why the first card you have is time for beginner mind. Like, you will move whatever you need to move, build whatever you need to build, collaborate with whoever you need to collaborate to make something happen. Okay. Exactly. The Knight of Shells also, of the knights, is the most passionate, most dreamy of the knights, right? So I could see that, meaning that you're more practical and logical in your approach to the world, right? Like, you're the type to you're not going to get lost in your dreams. You're going to make them happen. Hence why you have this King of Shells countering the Knight of Shells reverse. It's like the Knight of Shells is like passionate, running, but not necessarily knowing what they're running to, what they're pursuing. The King of Shells is certain, sure. Okay. So let me pull. Yeah, I'm going to pull from this other astrology-based oracle deck, but I want to pull from that Lenormand-based deck that I have over here. So let's see. Tell me more about pile 1. What makes them refreshing? What do people find refreshing? And I do have 3 love-based decks that I'll pull from at the end, so we can see specifically from a romantic perspective and what a specific person that you have on your mind may think, okay? But again, it doesn't have to be a specific person. That's just however it resonates for you. So tell me more about pile 1 and what makes pile 1 refreshing. That's 2 actually. Okay. South Node and Cardinal. Yeah, I mean, if there was there's a card in this Moonology deck that says don't let the past hold you back. Like, you are not concerned about being stuck any place. Like, you're not going to do it. So South Node energy, right? It is destined to release. You don't have issues for that. So the South Node is where we're comfortable. That's our comfort zones. It is, Cancer energy. Like, you do your best to make people feel comfortable, but you will not be stuck in a situation just based on comfort, right? So it's interesting, that dynamic of you will do what you have to do to make other people comfortable. But if you have to be uncomfortable to get what you want or what you need, it's a no-brainer. You will move. Again, beginner mind, traveler. You will go. Like, you may be the type to travel a lot, and people like find that refreshing as well. You may be well cultured as a result. But here, our South Node energy, it is the skills, the attributes that we were born into this world naturally gifted at. It's where things are very easy, very natural for us, and you don't care about any of that like, at all. And most people cling to this energy because we're meant to step into our North Node as we evolve over time. It's the challenges of who we're meant to become. But you don't seem to really have that issue because you don't mind being uncomfortable with the porcupine spirit. You do not mind being uncomfortable. You don't mind a fresh start. You don't mind moving until you get what you want. Hence why it is here in reverse. So the good news is that people see you as being directly on path to who you're meant to evolve into, but people see that you're very comfortable with discomfort in a good way, not in a you'll be in a negative situation, for the sake of, but in a you will leave any situation that is you feel isn't really benefiting you. And then you have the Cardinal energy, which is instigation, bravery, and a pioneering spirit. Now, this is Aries, this is Cancer, Libra, and Capricorn. So you have Libra and Cancer again, which is ironic because I don't know if I'm kind of getting I have a message, but I'm looking at Libra and Cancer here and then seeing them here in reverse. It's almost making me wonder if some of you are either heavily in Cancer, Libra energy or heavily in Aries, Capricorn energy, because those are the opposite signs, right? Because 2 cardinal energies, right? And in reverse. So either some of you are, honestly, it could be a combination of the 2, like at any given moment with this chameleon spirit. Like, you may be in your peacemaker, nurturing energy, and then boom, in the next instance, you're in that opposition of Capricorn and Aries, because Aries is like the god of war. It's the energy of I, me, whereas Libra is us and we. Like, it's like relationships. And then Capricorn is your house of career and social status, whereas like Cancer is like home and family. So I'm wondering if some of you are really in your active business social mind in one instance, and then you pull all the way back to your you know what I mean, your home, your comfort, the next. Okay? That's an interesting concept that just came through, right? Like, hyper independent 1 minute, go, building yourself, and then pull back. Okay, well, let me work on my home, my family, my relationships, like that polarity, right? I think I see that for a lot of you. And people admire the fact that maybe you do have a balance. Maybe that's the balance. But cardinal in reverse would imply that something's not started, right? Or maybe it's you with it coming out in combination with the South Node. It implies that you're not going to constantly start things in that same energy, in the same space. You're always looking for a new space, a new environment, new people to start things in. Like, you're not going to keep doing the same old routine. This is kind of I'm not going to keep initiating a new routine in the same environment with the same skills, with the same hobby, same career, right? Constantly looking to reinvent yourself. That's what I see, okay? You have Neptune, dream and transcend, right? That is that Pisces energy coming through. Right, like feeling still and stagnant. Like you're the type to start feeling still and stagnant very quickly with nothing will come of the situation, because that's an energy of nothing moving. So like you feel stuck very quickly. Like you may have issues with stability and security. Like you're the type to up and move a lot. Like you're not going to feel trapped in any situation or circumstance. And people find that refreshing. They do. They find it very, very refreshing. Like, I don't know, like it might be the bravery, because most people are not built like that. So that's at least what I'm seeing coming through with what makes you refreshing. So like I said, you're not going to stagnate. You're always looking for something new and refreshing to do yourself. Like you're always looking for something refreshing. That's interesting. Let's see. You know what? Let me put this down. I was going to hop right into these love-based oracle decks, but I want to see what we get from this Lenormand based Afro Goddess Oracle. And I do have the book just in case something that I don't understand comes out, because I'm trying to get familiar with this deck again, because it's been a while. Tell me about pile 1. Well, it's a lot about pile 1. I'll take what's at the bottom, and I'll take the one that came out. This one. Number 37, the Ankh. Now, I do know that that is the last card in that deck. I'll pull it out. So it is about completions. And honestly, I find it very similar to this balanced Libra energy coming through. I would not be surprised if this is my pile of cardinal signs, though. Like, I know it's a heavily Aquarius energy. It is a heavily Aquarius energy. You may have Aquarius placements, but the reality is there's every cardinal sign here, right? You've got Cancer, then Libra, then the cardinal in reverse, which gives you the other two, which is Capricorn and Aries. So this may be that pile, okay? But let me get this to this last page, because yeah, exactly, it's the last page, literally, right? So again, a destined rebirth is happening. It's necessary. It is by design. Exactly. That is your energy, right? The Ankh card guides us into a place of rebirth after pain and death of a cycle. So it doesn't have to be, hardship. It just means you're constantly transforming, right? You're constantly flowing. You're very fluid as an individual, which makes sense, because even though we have this mutable energy here, cardinal signs constantly start things, right? You may not follow through, you may not finish them, but constantly starting things, right? Like that's initiating energy, and that is what you do. You may be very good at starting new beginnings, and I think what happens sometimes, and I'm not trying to deviate off topic, but this is a message coming through. Sometimes you may have a fear of follow through, hence why it doesn't look like you have a lot of close connections here. It looks like you constantly start things, and then you get bored and stagnant. You're like, let me just move. Let me just go. Let me start this new thing. And that is what's coming through for my pile 1s, okay? At least that's how people are seeing you, right? That's what you're giving to the people, because it doesn't feel like there are that many people that really know you on a deep level to really be able to assess anyway. This is just how you're coming across. And it's refreshing. It's like, wow, pile 1's a risk taker. They're out here. They're just doing whatever they want, living how they want to. They're living the dream, right? Like that is what people are kind of saying as well. So at the bottom, you have the Child. Right, this is that same Aquarius energy, new beginning, starting something fresh, very creative, constantly going, right? Like that fresh, new mind, but energy. It's truly time for beginner mind energy. So this is exactly the energy that makes you refreshing. Is your creativity, your passion, all of the stuff that you have. I'll slide this down and put this here. There we go. But yeah, that refreshing, childlike inspiration, like you're constantly inspiring people, okay? Like people are inspired by you because you do the things that most people won't out of fear, or truly just can't because they have too many roots. Like some people have a lot more. This feels like my pile with not as many responsibilities. Like you may not have dependents, like people that rely on you for much beyond like the friends that can call on you. So you just do whatever you want, and people find that so refreshing. Like they love that they can just call you and you'll just up and go, So tell me more about pile 1. What makes you refreshing? What do people find attractive about you? Romantic perspective. Harvest. Okay, 2. Okay, so I'll start with this one. We have harvest, which is you planted the seed that the universe gave you. Due to your patience and growth, you are now able to enjoy the fruits of your labor. That's interesting. It feels like, here's that energy. So while you have that very go, start, that deep dive energy, right? When you do commit to something, right? Because this isn't my commitment pile at all. But when you do plant seeds, when you do root, it's like it's grounded. Like you value those connections forever. That, I mean, I can tell because even with all of this casual like networking, like surface level friendships, I mean, you're very like committed to those connections. You gotta, it looks like those of you that have a lot of them, you're committed to those connections. So when you do open up and find even deeper ones, I could see you being like the best friend, the closest friend, right? That people could have, the best lover that anyone's ever had, because you're the most consistent, the most constant, you know. Once you find something that you want to ground yourself for, because you have to want to ground yourself for something. You're not gonna stabilize somewhere or in a situation like just because of stability. You don't crave stability like a lot of people. You can be comfortable anywhere doing anything, and so it takes special relationships to make you ground yourself in this harvest energy. Okay, definitely the case. So let's see, building a future really affirms that, right? This one is a keeper. Your love life is ascending to the next level, right? Building the future. And I see this for a lot of you that are asking about specific people and connections. This feels like a connection that is the one connection that is actually going to stabilize you and make you sit down somewhere because you move a lot. Like I'm starting to sweat. It's not warm. Like it's actually really cold, and I've turned everything to make it like warmer because of how cold it is, but I'm sweating and I don't know why. I'm sweating. So, you know, like you move a lot, like you move so much that like I'm sweating and like channeling your energy. So like, I feel like if you're asking about a person or what's coming in, like this is someone that may move around a little bit with you. Like even if you're not asking about a specific person, the person that'll come in, I guess next, may move around with you, but this is someone that'll be a little bit more grounded. They may make you sit down somewhere a little bit, right? With harvest and building a future. Okay, especially since you have the Ankh coming in past life. That's that South Node energy. And I don't think I mentioned that those that believe in past lives believe that the South Node is the skills and things that you mastered in your past life. Okay, so this person may feel very familiar to you, right? It says there may be a past life connection or unfinished business with this person. Even if it's not, right? Even if you don't believe in that, you don't have to believe in that for these messages to apply. It could be that this is someone that from your past, or someone that you have unfinished business with, right? Like there may be a connection that you're not quite done with, especially with you being the type to move around a lot and like constantly go changing friend groups, changing jobs. Like it feels like you have a very active life, and like if you're on the go like this, there's definitely a connection that you may want to not necessarily revisit, but there's something left, like maybe closure, maybe. But I definitely see this past life influence in 2 cards. So those of you that are asking about a future connection, like someone that may be coming in, those are my singles, this person will feel very familiar. They will feel very comfortable. They will make you want to ground your energy a little bit. Not saying you have to, because you can still move around a lot. It's just that at least as it relates to this person, there'll be some type of foundation. Okay, so let me pull from this other deck and see. Tell me more about what makes pile 1 refreshing. With past life, harvest, and building a future, whatever, all of this activity you have going, especially with collaboration, because that could be like building team, like professionally networking. All of people see you as all of this movement, all of this motion, especially if this is past energy. Some of you are stepping out of that with the Ankh. Some of you are stepping out of this active, moving, go energy. not that it's not that there's anything wrong with it. Like some of you are just slowing down a little bit, and people are like, wow, pile one really lived a life. Not that it's over, it's not over, but like, you know what I mean? Like let's give it like a 5-year span. Pile one was like all over the place. It was like 5 years where pile one traveled the world, right? And like, because of all of the things and experiences, they have a wealth of knowledge, a wealth of culture. Like they actually made a lot of money with harvest and building a future. Like, you know, maybe started a startup, started a business, like whatever pile one did, like now they can kind of calm down because they were so active during that period that I remember, right? Like people remembering that you did that. Like I can see that in some instances too from a non-romantic perspective. Like just really building yourself up and then finally able to chill to where you don't have to be as active. Like being active because you want to, not because you're trying to get ahead. That's what people are saying. It's interesting. So tell me more about what makes pile one refreshing. Like you had that foresight to just get ahead of yourself, right? Sorry. Playfulness. Time. Oh, I said time. I was going to say time to recapture. That's not what this card says. So some of you are stepping into an energy of now it's time. Now it's time for you to be stepping into this romantic energy. That's what makes you refreshing. So you may be looking at, this may be actually my pile where you're looking like, okay, what's next in romance? I've traveled, I've made all of the friends, I've made all the connections, I've done every experience I could have. Now where do I take the deep dive? I'm not moving the cards, but take the deep dive. Like now it's the deep dive, you know, King of Shells, you know, I'm lacking in the Knight of Shells, right? In that passion, right? But it says to recapture romance, allow your inner youthful spirit, right? You have the child right here, an inner youthful spirit of fun to shine. So a lot of you, what's making you refreshing is that all of that movement, all of that travel, all of that building, possibly working you were doing or are doing, it's leading you into a place of enjoyment, of pleasure, of freedom, right? Like some of you are, I feel with harvest and building a future here with past life overview, like you've kind of put yourself in a path of financial freedom. So now you don't have to really worry about work as much. You collaborate for fun. You do things for fun. All of the opportunities you take and the activities you do, it's from a place of, oh, I want to, not I need to survive. So that's refreshing. That's refreshing just in general. That's not refreshing for you as a person. That's refreshing as a lifestyle. So people see that in you. Definitely do. So past life energy, again, past life relationship, it says you have known each other before. I want one more, but you've got past life 3 times. That's very, very interesting. Thank you. Finances and career, and that did come out in reverse. Notice I did all of the shuffling. It says financial issues are a factor in your love life right now. It did come out reverse. So you don't have to worry about it. You get to, people find refreshing that you're in a place of a very playful place, and that you don't have to really focus on that. And if this is not you, like if you are not that blessed yet, right? I feel like you've stepped into this pile for a reason. So you're at least on a trajectory for this. You're all in different phases of this pile, whether you're in the past energy, whether this is past energy, current, or incoming energy. If you're not in that space, what's happening is that Libra scales of balance. People see that balance of work and play coming in for you. And that's why I was getting that energy with that cardinal sign in reverse, right? Because you have Libra and Cancer upright, which implies a focus on relationships and home, right? But in reverse, you have Capricorn and Aries, the opposite signs of self, I, me, and like career and working, right? And hard lessons. So like I said, that there's a balance here that I'm seeing, especially with playful and career and finances happening like this in this opposition. There's an opposition there, okay? Related to your cardinal signs. Engagement. Your love life is ascending to a higher level of commitment. A lot of you are in an era where that opposition in those cardinal signs, whether it is Aries and Libra, whether it is Cancer, Capricorn, or both of those axes, a connection is coming in or current, or just people just seem to see you having a balance on that, and you may be finding a balance in that. So I want to say, before I even pull from that last deck, that the most refreshing thing about you is your balance between like a work-life balance. Okay? Like we talked about the physical attributes earlier, but like your energy, first of all, it seems to be your success in having your cake and eating it too. Having that healthy balance that most people don't have. Like, people often make sacrifices for their family, friendships, and their pleasure, or they miss out on that for gains, right? Material gains. And you don't seem to have that issue, or won't be at some point. And that's what's really, really refreshing about you, just in general with people. And definitely as it relates to your person romantically that will be coming in, if it's not someone you're already asking about, this is what they value. Okay, this is what they find refreshing about you, is that you know how to enjoy with playful. You're not going to let like career and finances hold you back. But at the same time, you're not like completely just throwing the concept away. You know the importance of those things, hence harvest and building a future. And it seems like a lot of you are stepping into, if you haven't already, a harvest for all of your past efforts, right? All of the connections you've built over time, right? The networking you've done, all of the traveling, all of the knowledge you've gained, all of the cultures you've explored, all of that is kind of benefiting you. Like you're living a life that all of that, it has benefited you. Okay. So let me pull 3 from this and we'll close it out. Last message is, what makes pile 1 refreshing? I will say that Aries, Libra, if it, like, not even just that, even Cancer, Capricorn, because that rules like the father and the mother. It feels like a very healthy balance of like your masculine and feminine energy. You seem like a healthy balance of both. And that may be that sharp energy and that soft energy coming through at the very beginning of the pile. Something about you, you're very, very balanced within yourself. From a romantic perspective, it means that like your person feels like you're balanced enough to, or the person coming in will see you as balanced to them, right? Like complementary to them. Like if they're in their feminine energy, they see you as in your masculine energy. If you're in your masculine energy, they see you as in the feminine energy, like that union energy, okay? I wasn't ready, but I'll let you see puppy love. So a lot of you maybe at early stages. I think I mentioned earlier that I was going to lead from a crush perspective, like new energy. So that is 100% crush energy, but I wasn't ready. So let's see. Last message is for pile 1. What makes pile 1 refreshing? What do people find attractive about pile 1? What makes them refreshing? I almost took it, but what did I say? At this point, I'm repeating myself, shifting gears, right? Like you shift gears, or you shifted gears, like something, you made a pivot. And it could be along this axis that I'm looking at. It could be that Aries Libra axis, or that in the Aries Libra axis would be self versus relationships, like choosing relationships over self, or self over relationships. And then Cancer Capricorn would be home over career, or career over home. Something about you shifting gears as it relates to those themes is very, very refreshing. Okay. Your actions are what's really refreshing. The way you move is what's refreshing. And I wasn't expecting that. I was expecting your energy. I was expecting a little bit of appearance, personality traits, but your actions, the way you move, pile 1, is what makes you refreshing to people. Yeah, definitely. Because even this is another action. These are actions coming out for you, right? From this love deck. This is the Twin Flame Soulmates Oracle, and you're getting action, shifting gears, proposal, right? Like the way you move, right? Accepting it, like shifting gears to a different type of offer. If we're talking career, social status here, right? And then shifting gears for a relationship, right? If you're hyper single, shifting gears for this connection, that whatever it is that's refreshing, people are like, man, I really thought I really thought that pile one was gonna be like the eternal independent single or the eternal career person. You know what I mean? And it's not just that, that's a dominant energy. Because, and I say that because Libra is relationships, Cancer is home and family upright. So I'm leading with that. But some of you, it's the opposite. Some people are like, man, I thought pile one was gonna stay in that relationship forever. Especially if you're like with someone that you've been like a childhood sweetheart with all of this past life energy. And then you do have child, and then in the past life card here, they're very youthful. It's a younger impression of that couple. I don't know what movie that is. I just remember that the creator of the deck said that this was them younger. So if you've been with someone long term forever, and people are like, man, I never thought pile one would go single, right? Like I never thought that they would just go off on their own and do their own thing. I thought they were going to be in that relationship forever. You know what I mean? I never thought that they would like have a life beyond their kids, you know what I mean? Like beyond their family and have like a career. It could be the opposite like this I'm describing, but definitely some shifting of the gears related to relationships, right? People did not expect or don't expect, and they find it refreshing. They like it. Okay. And this could also be your person thinking that you're hyper independent or, you know what I mean? Not into relationships or overly worried about relationships and family, right? Like your person may be like, man, I thought pile one was really going to be stuck with their family, never leaving their family, always worried about who they're going to be with. And now pile one is single and not acknowledging my calls. You know what I mean? Like that's some energy. I'm laughing because I love that for you, the freedom. Whatever it is freedom. Okay. But definitely shifting gears and proposal feels like if you're asking about a connection specifically, that it is incoming. Like something is shifting of a gear related to you where, you know what I mean, there's something coming in. And it's a variety of different scenarios, right? If you're dating someone actively, then maybe a proposal for marriage. But if you like, this is early stages, maybe like a proposal for like a date or someone asking you for your number, right? Remember at what timeline you're on, right? You're not, let's be realistic, okay? So let me get my last one. I'll take the bottom. Tell me what people find refreshing about pile one from a romantic perspective. See? Is there another one? No, it's just this one. Connection. Look, and I love how it kind of like, it's like a little story, right? The bottom, you have soul level, and you do have deep dive up there. So I think that's actually precious, this little story. You got someone shifting gears to a proposal and a connection. So if you're asking about a specific connection, here we are. There's a shifting gear that will either bring you closer to the connection, and that's the dominant energy here, especially with harvest and building a future, Cancer and Libra. Or some of you will be on that opposite end where you're like, you were heavily into relationships, heavily into family, and that was your primary focus. You're going to shift gears, be free, travel, enjoy your friendships, develop your career, all of the things. And then this may come in for you while you're out doing those things. Okay. Love, love, love this energy. You have, like I said, your actions, your energy, the way you move, pile one, is what makes you most refreshing and attractive to people. And I love that for you. So live your life. And I hope this resonated for you. If it did, please like, comment, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you can stay in the know on the content we post here on this channel. Thank you for watching. All right, pile two, if you selected the lemonade, then this is your reading. Let's see what makes you refreshing. Again, it is a spin on what makes you attractive. So with emphasis on refreshing. Now, you may drink a lot of water. You may drink a lot of lemon water, but something about you will be hydrated. So you may always be like thirsty. You may always be drinking water. You may be encouraging people to drink water. That just feels like this pile, because when I was cleansing my Spirit de la Lune, I don't think it's at the bottom. Yeah, abundant. So very abundant. But when I was cleansing this deck, let me just reset that card so I don't know what's at the bottoms. Basically, I got rejuvenate. So one thing you're going to do is be refreshed. So you may be the type to take very good care of yourself. You may be the type to go to the spa, get your nails done, keep your feet done. Like, you may just do whatever you need to do for self-care. And people find that really refreshing, because it doesn't seem like you're just the type of person that does it. You seem to be the type to encourage other people to do it, right? So the people that know you well, you're like, listen, you better drink water, you should eat fruit, you should stay hydrated, like make sure you take care of your skin. Like, it feels like that's you. That's what I'm already getting from you. So I'm interested to see what either channeled song I'll get, or what I'll shuffle for, okay? So let me see, what is how to refreshing? And I didn't say it, but while I'm shuffling, I can. And since I'm almost like, sometimes life stings. Wonder what that's all about with the wasp. But no, what I'm saying is I wanted to make a mention that I do have a bunch of decks that I'm going to go through. And this can be what makes you refreshing to people overall. That's what I'm going to lead with. And then at the end, I'm going to pull from some love-based oracle decks so that we can see what people that are pursuing you romantically think specifically. So this could apply to like crush situations like a lot of you like, or this could be like a current partner or any incoming energy that may be coming in romantically for you. And I'll just, like, those of you that are single, I'll lead with, okay, this is your next person if someone's coming in, okay? And that'll be at the end. But right now, let's just see what makes you refreshing just in all ways. And I'm certain we'll get what your specific person you have in mind, or people that are pursuing you think as well, because those people tend to fixate on you the most, so their energy will be more dominant in how you're coming across in a refreshing way. All right, so pile 2, tell me what it is that makes you refreshing. Makes pile 2 refreshing. I don't want to drop it. There's a lot that makes you refreshing, apparently, since half the deck wants to be read. What makes pile 2 refreshing? Give me one card, please, on what makes pile 1 refreshing. Pile 2, sorry, refreshing. I almost took that one. You know, I think the same thing happened. Maybe it is the way that I am shuffling the deck, but I'll take those two. I'll take those two, and what I'll do is I'll put this here. We'll take the bottom in a second. But you know what? Sometimes life stings, kind of showing itself a little bit. You may very well be a bit stinged. Like, you may be a bit of a wasp. You might have an aggressive side that people like, that challenging information, like that challenging energy. Sorry, you may give information. You may be very argumentative in a conductive way, in a productive way, or you know what I mean, like with the goal in mind. Like, you may challenge people to be better, and that makes sense since the energy I was channeling with you was you encouraging people to do like the self-care and to drink water and to be healthier. So let's see what these two are, because they're already in the position of maturing energy. So let's see. You do have that Panther spirit, reclaim your power. Number 44, something about you may be very deep in your energy, right? Like piercing eyes, but very dark energy. And that's not a scary thing. You may just have like a very mysterious energy about you with this Panther, right? Like this Panther spirit is just very, like the eyes are very piercing, right? Like it's a very regal, prominent energy. That's kind of what makes you refreshing. Like something about you stand out. Okay, reclaim your very powerful presence you have, and you will reclaim your power in any situation you feel like it is leaving you, especially with this maturing placement of it. And this squirrel spirit, believe in yourself. That's cute. Squirrels normally, like, I think they harvest the acorns for later. So like you're very good at like being productive, saving, harvesting. Like you may be good at saving like money and stuff like that, just because like with the acorns, that's what came to mind. But believe in yourself. One thing about it is you don't need other people to support your self-esteem. And it's not that you're arrogant. Some people may take you that way, but you're not arrogant. You are very comfortable, confident in who you are, right? and you will challenge anyone that tries to state otherwise, right? With reclaim your power, believe in yourself. Now, with sometimes life things showing up the way that it did, I will say something you recovered from or are recovering from, people are like, man, Pal 2, like they are resilient, they've got it, right? Because like if you've been through some type of hardship and people see you like stepping into your power outside of that, they're like, look at that, head held high, Pal 2's got it, right? That's how people are seeing you, and that is what makes you refreshing. Dog spirit, be loyal to what you love. Okay, so yeah, you're very loyal to yourself first, right? That's the primary energy, is that you are loyal to yourself and your self-care and who you are and who you're meant to be first. Now, other people do experience that same loyalty, but they will not see that at your, like, you're not going to make yourself smaller for other people, right? Like, you're not going to reduce your loyalty to yourself to support anyone else, right? Reclaim your power, believe in yourself. Like, you're in an era, and this may be incoming energy you're stepping into, a very independent, self-assured, self-care based energy. And that's extremely refreshing, right? Extremely refreshing. Like I said, it's not a selfish energy at all. If anything, it feels like you encourage other people to do the same, right? The people around you to do the same. So like, people deeply admire that. Okay. Tell me more about what makes Pal 2 refreshing. Like, what are people finding attractive about Pal 2? What are people finding attractive about Pal 2? What is it that makes them refreshing? What makes Pal 2 refreshing, please? This one, the slip, and it's almost there. So I don't know what that means. 3 of feathers. So you're almost done. Like, one thing about you will release something and you will gradually do it. Like, you don't have to cut something immediately. You will take your time eliminating it, whether it is habits, beliefs, like something that's not working. You'll slowly begin to cut it out. You'll slowly begin to release it, okay? That is what you'll do, okay? And I just find it very interesting that this card was slip, almost coming out, hesitating to come out, and then I just took it, and it's like 3 of feathers. And this also confirms the whatever you've been through, whatever you experienced, whatever sting happened. People are like, look at that resilience, look at that recovery that Pal 2 has. Like, you what was the word, rejuvenate, that came out as I was cleansing for your pile. Like, look at Pal 2. Like, Pal 2 will resurrect like a phoenix, right? That's the energy that people see in you, and that is what's deeply refreshing. It's inspiring, because one thing about refreshing energy that I didn't lead with is, and it's coming out in both of the piles a little bit, is energy that's refreshing to other people is often inspiring as well. It's like it encourages other people to be better. Like, if Pal 2 can survive this, make it through this, improve beyond this, then so can I, right? That's the energy. I'll take it, fine. I'm not going to hesitate on it. I will pull from one more and then we'll take the bottom. But look at that. Love, choice, and trust. Number 6, the Lovers. Okay, this is Gemini energy, communication, Mercury, short travels, all of the things, early childhood, those things, right? Like, whatever circumstances, you know what I mean, led to you needing to reclaim your power, you're stepping into it beautifully, very gracefully with the Lovers here, okay? Gemini is a very adaptive sign. It's mutable in nature, right? You're very adaptive. You've shifted beyond whatever trauma. You've transmuted whatever trauma. Honestly, this is, with the 3 of feathers into love, is transforming pain into love. It is heartbreak into happiness, right? Joy, right? So whatever pain, transmuting it into that beauty, right? Or if you've suffered any like any issues that would have like deformed you in any way, whatever you did to fix it. Because I'm not gonna lie, like I do see in this pile with the self-care and all of that, I can see people getting enhancements or any type of plastic surgeries, which I'm not against. Like, whatever you want to do, you should do if it's healthy, and what makes you happier mentally as well. So I see my people here that have gotten like plastic surgery. People are like, wow, like look at Pile 2 really went and just reclaimed their power, did what they wanted to do, being loyal to themselves and what they love. You've got love twice on the table, and they feel a lot better and look a lot better as a result, right? Or at least you look better because you feel better, right? So I can see that in some instances. So let me get one more card. We'll take the bottom. Tell me more about what makes Pile 2 refreshing, especially those of you where you did make a choice to change something physically on your body in any way, whether it's just changing your hair or literally plastic surgery of any kind, or, you know, Botox, whatever it is you want. People are like, okay, that's refreshing because you literally look refreshed, because you feel refreshed. And they're like, man, that's inspiring. Maybe I can look into such and such that they did, because if they can do it, so can I. You know what I mean? Like, I get that. I get that energy. 4 of Acorns, comfort, community. Exactly, right? 4 of Acorns is like stepping into a new home. It's like stepping into a new environment. It's often a married couple purchasing a new home or stepping into their home for the first time as one. And so it's kind of like something about your trauma, and like whatever the trauma is, and however you transmuted it or shifted your life and moved beyond it, reclaimed your power, whatever you did to reclaim your power and be loyal to yourself in this loving energy. It's really like inspiring to other people with comfort and community here on the table. And I want to say, I've already got love vibes coming in. Some of you, what is refreshing about you is literally the way you proceed with your love life, whether it's you overcoming heartbreak, whether it is you dating who you want regardless of what people say, regardless of if it's you just learning how to love despite never being in an environment to do that, because again, this is early childhood here. Whether it is you what's the other one out? I can't find it now. It's missing. You, despite lots of trauma and heartache just in general, still hold space to love and nurture connections, especially romantic ones, okay? Like, you still have a loyalty, you still have a love, you're still open heart, have an open heart and open mind to people despite your past, okay? You have at the bottom the wheel, which is the wheel of fortune. Number 10, it says change, possibilities. You always see the bright side. You're not concerned about the trauma, the past, because you can see the wheel turning in your favor, right? And also, people find it refreshing that you seem to be a lucky person. Something about you is lucky, and that's no negative impact on your actual hard work and the work you do, but something about you seem to be lucky. So I don't know, like, this may be my pile with the 3 of feathers and whatnot. This could be my near-death experience piles, like, you know, that you cheated death, quote unquote cheated death a couple of times, or the situations you shouldn't have made it out of, or, you know, you shouldn't be where you are today. You just feel very lucky to people, and that's refreshing, okay? And also with the romance here, with the lovers and 4 of wands, if some of you, people never thought you would be where you are romantically, okay? I don't know what happened, what the past is, but there's a complete shift from the 3 of swords to the lovers to 4 of acorns, which this 2 combined feels like a marriage to me. And with the wheel of fortune, it's a very fortunate situation. So people, like, I don't know what that is, you let me know, or maybe it's incoming energy, but it just feels like people don't expect to see you where you are romantically, okay? So let me see. Yeah, I'll start with the astrology-based oracle decks. I want to get into this Lenormand deck that I have over here for clarity in a bit, but I'll lead with my astrology-based oracle deck. So tell me what makes Pile 2 refreshing. What makes Pile 2 refreshing? There's 2. Okay. So we've got number 11, the last quarter, ignite. So actually first quarter. I don't know why I'm saying last. So something is ending for you and starting with a refreshing. Okay. Some of you, it could be as simple romantically as you left someone or something behind to pursue something in someone else. It could be that. And people find that refreshing, okay? Choosing yourself, with being loyal to what you love, okay? But with this 11 first quarter moon, you have ignite, okay? Passion. That's something you're starting or have started recently. Whatever you started or are starting with Reclaim Your Power and Believe in Yourself, people find that so refreshing. It's like I didn't think, you know, Pal2 would do it. And it could be, since you have you have feathers, which is air, and the lovers, which is Gemini. It could be communication based. It could be childhood based. It could be local based. Anything based with Mercury, or even love and romance or whatever. People can see you starting it, and it just feels very good. And especially if it was once a dream, with this maturing energy, number 26, when in Gibbous, you have dream, okay? And so it's like you're working towards a dream, and people see that, and that's what's refreshing. And honestly, you ignite feelings of dreams in people. Like, you inspire people, just maybe the way you communicate, the way you present yourself, the way you carry yourself. It inspires people, like I said earlier, in the pile, okay? So, and ignite feels, you know, like, you know, passionate. You make people feel passionate. So people are very attracted to you, okay? At the bottom, you have Aquarius, which is the visionary, and it is in reverse. So let me tell you this. Is that, yeah, exactly. Incoming energy, look at that, slipping right from the bottom. Incoming energy of hibernation. So like I said, well, like I was beginning to say, Aquarius energy is social, it's networking, it's 11th house of connecting with people, connecting with community, right? And it feels like a lot of you may have pulled back from a certain community or group of people, or just socially in general, with hibernation. And you're pulling back to focus on igniting some sort of a dream, or you're pulling back to focus on yourself, your self-care, right? Your fortune, all of the things. And people are like, oh, that is refreshing. Most people would not turn down a chance to hang out or party, or, you know what I mean, do X, Y, or Z, to be committed to themselves or their projects. And that's what people find refreshing, okay? Very, very committed. That's the energy that's coming through for you. That is fine. People are finding refreshing. The commitment, whether it's to yourself, to someone else, to a cause, to a project. Okay, that's my primary energy. So let me see what Moonology has to say about this. Tell me more about Pal2. What makes Pal2 refreshing? What makes Pal2 refreshing? There it is. It's time to release negativity. Full moon and Scorpio. Exactly the energy. So like I said, releasing, reclaiming your power, letting it go. 3 of Swords is letting something go. It talks about moving on, moving beyond any trauma, any pain, any past, like letting it go and just proceeding into love, into success, into new beginnings, right? Releasing negativity. You're not worried about it. Or at least you're working to not be worried about it. And Scorpio energy is 8th house energy. It is inheritances. It is debts. It is all of your, it can be your trauma, right? But it can be inherited trauma from early childhood with the Gemini energy here. So I see lots of scenarios coming through here for the overcoming energy. But like I said, whatever it is you've overcome, especially if it's financial hardship, into this Wheel of Fortune, because you know, that Scorpio energy can rule financial hardship because of the debts, things that are owed. So yeah, I mean, people just find that inspiring. You're getting this tone because I'm very surprised that this is what's coming out. Yeah, what do you need to release, right? See that? Okay, releasing. People find it refreshing how you release. Some of you, ironically enough, and it could be this simple while you're in the pile, I feel like people feel like it's refreshing, like when you cleanse, like if you do spiritual cleanses, if you do physical cleanses, because like I know like lemon water, people use those as like detoxes. So you may detox, and people may just as part of your self-care routine, and people like find that refreshing, right? Like something about the way, I think it's nutrition and health based for some of you, like your health, your wellness, your fitness, like the way you take care of your skin, like all of the things like that, but also mental and emotional, right? Like releasing things, letting things go. And you know, some of you, this can be overcoming addictions, right? Reclaiming your power, just overcoming addictions and whatnot. I just see a lot of that energy that's refreshing to people. Okay, like turning your life around, whether it's circumstances you put yourself into or circumstances that you were dealt, right? Hence the early childhood and the inheritance. Okay, at the bottom, you do have a time to give rather than take. And this card actually tried to jump out, so it wanted to be in pile 2, okay? New moon in Virgo. So whether you are dedicating and loyal to your projects, yourself, your partner, people see a shift in your energy from whatever you used to be, and they're very, very impressed with it, honestly. So that is what's coming through. Now let me pull from this other astrology based oracle deck, and then we'll see what the Lenormand deck has to say before I close it out with those love decks. Okay, so tell me more about what it is about pile 2 that's refreshing. Something about the circumstances, though, for sure. Your circumstances, your past, whatever it is, most people wouldn't have been able to overcome it. Okay, whatever it is that you overcame or are in the process of overcoming. And the future looks bright if it's current energy, okay? So I don't want you to worry about it, because people are inspired by you. They see that you are truly on path to be successful if you aren't already. Because again, I read past, present, and incoming energy. So if you are in this pile and you're on this journey and you see yourself on this journey, this can be a prediction for you that this is where you're headed, right? House 6, exactly. This is Virgo energy again on the table. And it's funny because I normally would have read Virgo like this, but Spirit is throwing the card at me to make sure that I don't forget. Like, you read Virgo the way you normally do, which is funny because I am a Virgo. Like house 6 energy, okay? It is routine, right? It is health. It is wellness. It is the practical details. It is acts of service, right? It is, in some instances, customer service. It's all of the things that happen day to day, your mundane tasks, your routine, right? That's why it says establishing a foundation. So house 6 themes, your day-to-day life, something about the way you live day to day. And I mentioned that, right? That's how we entered the pile, your day-to-day routine. You may drink a lot of water. You may be on a journey, a wellness health journey, right? And I see that, okay? And people find that refreshing, okay? You have yin energy, okay? Intuition, trust, patience, spirituality, receptivity, right? Becoming more receptive, right? Something about you, even in reclaiming your power, you're more open and receptive to people. Some of you may have a history of being stingy, right? Like being like a very combative individual. You're softening over time. Some of you, that's what people find refreshing. It's like, oh, last time I saw pile 2, they had an attitude. Now I see pile 2 is like super friendly. What's changed? You know what I mean? Releasing that trauma that was making you that way, right? With the 3 of Swords and all of this releasing of energy. Some of you are just very organized and in general, and people find that very refreshing. Like your attention to detail, you may organize things a certain way, like your house, your kitchen. I think I saw like a TikTok maybe a week ago where a girl was organizing her fridge, and like she did so immaculately, like, you know what I mean, like things like that. And so that's that receptive energy along with day to day, like kind of like you're finding a certain ease in your routine, okay, for sure. And people are kind of observing that, especially if the people you're sharing that with. So and that also talks about patience with yourself and loyalty and just giving yourself grace, right? Because most people don't know how to do that. Even when people pretend they do, most people are very, very hard on themselves and hold themselves to a certain stature that, allow yourself to make mistakes, it feels like you're okay with that. Like you're open to your own growth and development, and you're not holding yourself, you know, too accountable for any setbacks, or like you just give yourself grace. So at the bottom we have Sagittarius, which is optimism, exploration, and freedom. And this is that growth. This is growth, right? It talks about ninth house energy of higher education. It is just higher knowledge. It is spiritual knowledge, like the yin card. And it talks about just growing beyond your limited perspective. So it is actually the opposite sign of Gemini, which is the Lover's card. So it's like that axis of growing beyond your current setting, your current situation, your early childhood, right? Like this is who you can become, where you can go. And you seem to be open and receptive to becoming whoever it is you're meant to become, right? Whatever feels natural to you, right? Whatever feels healthy for you, regardless of where you come from and who people thought you were supposed to be. Okay, that is very, very refreshing. I find that refreshing. Okay, so let's see. Let me pull from this. Gosh, I'm taking the book with me and everything. I do have the book here because I'm trying to refamiliarize myself with the deck, but we may read it, you know. And Sagittarius, I mean, that Sagittarius Gemini axis, that is books, you know what I mean? Expansion of knowledge. You may be reading a lot now. You may be sharing things that you're reading, and people find that refreshing. But whatever it is you're learning, or knowledge you've gained that you're sharing, definitely people find that refreshing. Okay, tell me more about power 2. What do people find of refreshing and attractive about you? That's a lot. I'm just gonna go with it. Like I normally, I pick it up, I put it back, and then I complain about too many cards on the table. But I'm not gonna do that because this is my pile of knowledge seekers and people that are expanding. So I'm not gonna be that way. So you've got the Black Fox, which is kind of a low-key energy, very cunning, very clever, right? Something about you, you're very, very clever, right? This is kind of Virgo energy because Virgo is like attention to detail. It is ruled by Mercury. You actually have both signs on the table, right? One twice, Gemini and Virgo, that are ruled by Mercury, which is intelligence and communication and just knowledge in general, right? Reading and such. So this Black Fox may be relevant in the sense of just lurking, right? In silence and discreetly just gaining knowledge and just being very smart with the way you move and the way you function. It feels very similar to this Panther energy, okay? Some of you may be deeper in skin tone and people find that attractive. I was thinking that here, but I know this is a very diverse channel. I have lots of you, especially now that a lot of you have been booking personal readings. I see people from all over the world booking readings. And so, but some of you may have a deeper tone relative to certain people in your culture or a culture you've traveled to or whatever, right? I'm seeing that, but it's a certain deepness here, right? And then you have the Key, which is very interesting. I actually like this design. I'm trying to get it to clear a little bit. It's number 33, so that may be a relevant number. You've got 11, 44, and 33. So those may be numbers you see recurring. But some knowledge, something you gained, you have a key, right? Like with the Fox, there's a certain knowledge that you gained. Okay, I'm gonna pull out the book in a second, but whatever that knowledge you gain, it is key to you releasing. Because look, you got releasing, and then here again, the Coffin. Okay, the Coffin, like something has been laid to rest, especially with that 3 of Swords. So let me see what's at the bottom. The bouquet. Look at that. That's beautiful. Beautiful flowers. Okay. Very refreshing. So like I said, people find it refreshing that you are just slowly acquiring knowledge and skills and I guess projects and building things and slowly cutting ties and changing and putting things to rest. And you're seeing this bouquet. I'm sorry, I didn't realize it wasn't in frame. Let me adjust. There it is. And then you even have the garden peeking out. So let me pull out the book. We'll get a little clarity on what this is. Okay, you've got the fox, which is when the day is over and everything is done, the ultimate goal of the fox is success for himself and family, being both smart and cunning, right? Day-to-day grind, making ends meet, right? Day-to-day energy with that sixth house Virgo energy coming through. So exactly. So I didn't write this book. So this is for those of you that may be like, oh, tarot isn't real, or you're skeptic. I didn't write this book. I didn't make these cards. I didn't make them all fall out together. There we go. So let's see what the key has to say. And then we will look to see what the coffin is, because I'm very interested in this combination. Like something about the way these cards look together. There's a message that I'm not quite grasping that I want to grasp. It might be once I familiarize myself with the deck. So the key is one of the best cards of the deck, and it represents something major, right? Unlocking mysteries, destinies, and freedom. And it's a card of answers. Exactly, right? Knowing how to support yourself and your family with the Four of Acorns here for sure. That's crazy how it's all coming together. Something, I'm telling you, whatever you're building, whatever you're working on, whatever business you started or things you're launching, just know that it is going to be successful, right? The coffin says change within life is inevitable, and even the most painful ending has a promise of a new beginning to follow, right? And sometimes that transition is involuntary, right? So you don't get to choose. That said, you have 8 and 9. So this coffin, right? This knowledge, this energy you've gained, right? With the luckiest, one of the luckiest card in the deck, to this involuntary change is stepping you into a bouquet, right? When last did you stop to smell the roses? And it says happy and joyous time. Everything is well and getting better. Relationships are developing, right? Gifts are being given. Like this is something, like this is a gift, right? So whatever transition is a gift, and you recognize that, and that is what makes you refreshing. You're like, this is an opportunity for me to change. This is an opportunity for me to improve. Okay, I didn't want this setback, but this is an opportunity, right? Seeing setbacks as opportunities is a gift, right? Because most people see them as setbacks and they don't know, they try to figure out what it is and why it happened to them instead of trying to figure out what's being revealed, right? Instead of, that's your perspective, is how can I take this setback and change it to my gain, right? That's the perspective you've been stepping into if you don't have it already, and people find that refreshing. You are the absolute best problem solver, okay? This is my pile that absolutely troubleshoots successfully, okay? Definitely the case. So let me pull from these love-based oracle decks, and we will close this out. But people do, they see you as a gift, they see you as a blessing, they see you as lucky, fortunate, and just having you around is refreshing, right? So let me see, tell me about what makes them refreshing to people romantically. What did I say about troubleshooting and planning, right? Pay attention to the red flags. The signs are cautioning you. You're very good at that. Like you can tell, you've been through so much that you already know when something is not right, right? You already know when something's not right. You plan in advance. This is why you have your routine. You're on your wellness kick. You're on your health kick. You drink a lot of water. You're a preventative measures kind of individual, right? You see red flags before everybody else. And that is refreshing, because people having you around, like they have to pass your vibe check. Like in your friendship group, you're the person that does the vibe check, right? And people are like, okay, yeah, no, pile 2. Let me see how pile 2 sees them before I engage, right? That you catch the red flags before they wave, okay? And unfortunately, fortunately, you've had to be this way due to your past experiences and whatnot. So people have to pass your vibe check, and it's not easy to do, right? Or you'll retreat, you'll pull back your energy. So let's see, you've got 2 more. Some of you, before I get into this, pay attention to the red flags. This energy, you scare people. You scare people. And so this red flag energy is kind of people that see you romantically or are attracted to you on like a sensual level. They're like they're afraid. Like the red flag is like, should I even engage pile 2? Is it safe? Like, am I gonna get caught up in some trouble dealing with pile 2? That's kind of what comes through, but it's refreshing. It's like that danger is exciting, if that makes sense. So let's see. Express your love. Go ahead and make the romantic gesture. So these two in conjunction feels like, okay, so a red flag for me is something that is very blatantly obvious, right? So I don't always read it as a negative. That's why if you come here, you're like, that's not what that card means to me. Yes, it can be whatever I say that it is when it comes on the table. Whatever spirit tells me it means, that's what it means. And so it's something that is blatantly obvious, okay? And so something about you may wear your heart on your sleeve. You may be very transparent, and it feels like you are very open and honest with the way you feel, especially in matters of the heart, love, and your relationships. Like, you will not lie. You will be straight up. Like, you will tell someone directly you're interested in them, okay? Exactly, with attraction. Let's see if I can get this to clear. There it is. It says you attract romantic love by enjoying this moment fully. You don't take it that seriously. Like it doesn't, it's not that bad for you. Like if you've experienced a plethora of emotional experiences with these cards you have on the table. So when you're interested in someone, you say it. You don't have time to waste. You don't care. So, and that may take people aback. That may be a little bit scary, but it is refreshing because people are not used to people being that direct, especially in this day of age. You're very direct with how you feel. Okay. And so that is kind of how you're coming across romantically to other people, but especially those of you that have a specific person in mind, whether it is a crush or a current partner or someone in the past. It's just, this is how that person's seeing you, is like very, very direct, and they like it. It's scary, but they like it. You know what I mean? So at the bottom, you have worth waiting for. It says divine timing is at work in your love life. Okay. So that may be an energy, stepping in, as if those of you that are asking about a specific connection, this person sees you as worth waiting for, or you know what I mean, if spirit's asking you if you feel this person's worth waiting for. It just depends, right? Because we are at the base of the question asking what's refreshing about you. I feel like some of you, this person, if you're asking about someone specifically, feels you would wait, because you're not the type to just freely, like, while you're very open and honest about your feelings, you don't connect with people on a deep level that often. So this person may feel you'll wait for them, or that they will wait for you in whatever you're doing and traveling, because I see that with Sagittarius. Now, those of you that are singles, that have no one in mind specifically, right? It says that in divine timing, someone's gonna come in, right? Right now with red flags, it's obvious that, yeah, eventually you'll be ready for love. But right now you got a lot going on, right? And that doesn't mean that you can't pursue connections. It just means that in you knowing that you've got a lot going on, you should be very open. Pay attention to the things that are blatantly obvious as you date and maneuver the romantic spaces, okay? That is what I'm seeing. Let's see. Some of you, this is because I know you all ask. So I have my singles, I have my people with specific people in mind that they've been connecting with, and then I have my people that are crushes that may have not contacted. I'm seeing that in some instances it is blatantly obvious that your crush. I'm saying trust instead of crush, so that is an indicator too. It's blatantly obvious that your crush is interested, right? Just hold tight. That's what I'm saying, okay? So let me pull from these other two oracle decks, and we'll close this out. Tell me more about what makes pile 2 refreshing. What makes pile 2 refreshing? Freedom. The liberating energy, not holding back, right? When we can be our truest selves, we are then able to freely love. That right there is literally the saying of your entire pile, regardless of your circumstances, your situations, your past, because all of you have been through so much. I got people that are like on some type of educational journey, some research, starting businesses, pursuing love after trauma, pursuing life after childhood trauma, near death experience. Like I've got like so much is coming through this pile. So where you fit in, get in. But when we can be our truest selves, we are then able to freely love. Okay? That is an energy coming through. That is what's refreshing about you, is you are authentically yourself. Okay? Thoroughly. In great detail. Okay? Tell me more about pile 2. What makes pile 2 refreshing? I'll take that one as well. I'm like sliding everything. It's fine. It is what it is. Put that there. Annoyance. You or your partner may be annoyed right now. Give each other space to cool off to avoid more arguments. So I will take it literally, but I will say annoyance is someone that is persistent. You're very persistent. And that's refreshing. People normally give up on life, on love, on everything. But like not you. You are not. You are very persistent. Okay? Now, that said, when it says you or your partner may be annoyed right now, give each other space, you two one or both of you may be going through something, right? Like it is what it is. And so, and this is my current connections. Worth waiting for is here for a reason. It's not right. It's not the time right now. Okay? It's not the time right now. Just live your life. Give that person a little bit of space, and everything will ease. Okay? Especially if there's been some trauma with you or them, it feels like you need to be loyal to yourself and your energy right now. Okay? Even though it says be loyal to what you love, even if that's this person, like, again, be worth waiting for, doesn't mean that you let it go. It just means you step back and focus on you. Okay? That is truly what I see in some instances. Okay? Some of you have an optimistic approach to trauma and bad situations because you've seen the darkest aspects of the world. If your person has been experiencing trauma, just know they are not built like you. Okay, they haven't necessarily been through what you've been through, and it may be coming across like you're kind of downplaying their trauma or their issues or their problems because you've been through so much darkness that what they are doing may not seem as bad. You know what I mean? So just watch that energy. That may be the need for space. Okay. That said, let me see what this is so I can get more about those of you that are not in connections. Communication. We do have Mercury all over the table. So it says a conversation is on the horizon. Someone is planning to reach out. Be ready to express yourself clearly, honestly, and with love. Okay? That's what I'm seeing. So those of you, all of you in this pile, do expect some sort of communication from your person. Those of you where you are not in a connection, when you step out into this freedom, because you have Sagittarius and freedom, as you go out and live your life and just express yourselves and just enjoy it, someone will come in that kind of, ironically enough, annoy you at first, but eventually it'll be a connect. At the bottom, you do have forgive and heal. As you forgive and heal, your love life becomes brighter and healthier. As far as you being refreshing, it takes a lot to get to you. It takes a lot to traumatize you. It takes a lot to hurt you. It takes a lot to just move you at this stage of your life, because again, like literally I mentioned earlier, like this is my pile, people that had near death experiences, some of the worst trauma, like, rising from the ashes like a phoenix, like whatever it is you've experienced. Like I see addictions, like, you know, heartbreak after heartbreak, loss, like whatever you've been through, like there's nothing in this world in your mind that's that bad anymore. And so what makes you refreshing is your ability to forgive people. Because if people get on your nerves, you just talk it out. Like you're not that, you brush it off, you let it go, you're not worried about it. Like people don't upset you that bad. Like it's never that bad for you. And that may be why you have this pay attention to the red flags warning, is because you may at this point, even though I see those of you, you're the vibe check, some of you may catch it a little bit too late, just because like you're so past, like it's lighthearted stuff, right? Like the smallest red flags you're not that worried about, because you've seen literally like things that would put fear in people's hearts with this panther, right? So yeah, you're just easygoing in a lot of senses, even though I feel like some of you used to be very combative and now you're easygoing. Some of you have just healed and just always been easygoing, but you're not really that worried about. You're not that worried about it. You know, outside of teaching people and making sure people understand how to be better at life, it's not that serious for you. That's an energy that just slipped in. A lot of you, if this is a partner, a specific partner, your person's happy that it takes a lot to move you, because with annoyance, they feel like they may get on your nerves, and they're worried that like you're gonna see them as a red flag and that you'll leave them alone because like something they do or how they, whatever it is they feel like they come across as annoying, but you seem to be very patient with them. So yeah, that's just energy that's coming through. So tell me what's refreshing. My final thoughts about what's refreshing for pile 2, and we will close this out. What is refreshing about pile 2? Tell me. I'll take that one too. I need, I'll take one more at the end because I did want 3. Nostalgia. Yeah, I mean, something, your ability to release the past, right? Your history. Honestly, some of you, your history is really refreshing to people in general, specifically this person. Honestly, those of you where this is a specific person that you're asking about romantically, your history is refreshing just in general. You may have different histories, like you may have different upbringings or something like that, but your past just seems very, very refreshing to them, okay? And again, your ability to release the past in instances where it's traumatic. The future. Look at that. See? Nostalgia. The future. Look at that. People find it refreshing. You're moving ahead. Your potential, where you're going. It's very, very refreshing. You're looking forward. You keep moving forward, right? And then this also talks about your person, where you're asking about what makes you refreshing to them. They can kind of see you taking your past and incorporating it to the future in a very, very healthy way. Others of you, this person just sees you as their future in some senses. Okay, my last one. And it's kind of maturing energy, sweet honey. So like I said, just the good life. They see the good life in you. And that's refreshing, because people with your stuff that could be considered baggage do not have good life vibes naturally, right? Something you have to work very hard for. And so nostalgia, the future, sweet honey, it's like there's a certain sweetness about you despite your past that is very refreshing, specifically to your person. And again, they see a future, a bright, very, I don't want to use the word indulgent, but I don't know. I don't even have the word. I guess sweet future with you. I don't have a word. I'm sorry. So you do have secret admirer. So those of you that are asking about like crushes and whatnot, I think I mentioned that red flags is something that is blatantly obvious. Blatantly obvious, okay? For sure. So yeah, I mean, secret admirer at the bottom, nostalgia, the future, sweet honey, very interesting energy coming through for you. So I'm gonna close it out here. Hopefully it resonated for you, pal, too. If it did, please like, comment, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you can stay in the know on the content we post here on this channel. Thank you for watching. All right, pal 3, if you selected the orange juice, then this is your reading. Let's look and see what it is that makes you refreshing, what makes people find you attractive, just in general, romantically. I'm gonna get maybe 2 cards from this deck just to get an overview. I'll read the tarot, and then I have those astrology based decks, and I do have decks at the end so we can see how people see you romantically specifically, and then that can apply to any type of connection. It can apply to an existing connection. It can apply to your love life incoming for those of you that are single, and I know a lot of you like those crush readings, so you can definitely apply it to what your crush finds refreshing about you as well. So let's just see my orange juice pile. That one wants to be red, and it wants to be red in reverse. Very interesting. So let me see if we can get one more, and I'll take the bottom, and then we'll see what that is. Tell me about my pile 3, my orange juice pile. What is it that makes them refreshing, please? Honestly, I might not get a second one. There it is. Okay. And we'll see what the bottom is in a second. What is this in reverse? So you have the electric eel spirit. Bring your ideas to life. Now, in the reverse, it means you're highly creative, okay? Highly, highly creative. And with embrace the in-between, it shows that you have a highly imaginative, romanticized perspective and outlook. And people find that refreshing. Now, I'm not gonna lie. This combination feels like someone that may lack follow through. It feels like someone that lives in their head a lot but doesn't really know how to execute as well. But but if you have the right support, the things you come up with are so unique and innovative. So like, while you don't necessarily have the follow through, you can't execute. Not saying you can't, that's not your talent. The dreams, right? Like those dreams you have, the visions you have, they're otherworldly, right? Like there is things that people would have never thought to do, like certain combinations that people would have never expected. So like, it's the way your mind works that makes you very refreshing, okay? And honestly, some of you, it's not even just about the ideas and the dreams and the concepts. Some of you are just content living in your head, like living in the dream world, living in like hiding away from the world, whether it is via books, whether it is via music, whether it's via movies. Like you kind of dive deep into that, right? And stay there with embrace the in-between. Like you have your head in the clouds, and in a good way, because people find it refreshing, right? People don't dream as much, right? Open to infinite possibility with the starfish. Exactly. That's the energy that people find very refreshing about you, is like how, like just the dreams, the visions, your imagination. That's the word, your imagination. That's what people find refreshing, okay? So let me see. Tell me more about what people find refreshing and attractive about pile 3. What is that? Okay, I've got cards that are like diving in reverse. Let me see what these are. The Empress and the 9 of Feathers. You're not going to be the type to work hard and allow things to stress you out. Period. The end. Yes, I got all of that from that glance of those two reversals. And you're not gonna work on anything that's gonna make you stress out. That's part of that lack of like productivity I see coming through a little bit. Like, you know what I mean? Bring your dreams to life in reverse. It's like if it's gonna be hard and it's gonna stress you out, you're not doing it. And that's refreshing in and of itself, because people are like, how are you just gonna not be productive in this world that is, you know, people push for productivity, but you have zero interest in that. Okay. Okay. Two of feathers, decisions, direction. That's that head in the clouds energy. So it does say decisions, direction, and in that typically those are two things that need to be made. But in the two of feathers, it's usually depicted as an individual with the blindfolds on and someone that's not going to make a decision, that's not going to move on something, that will hide from the world if something seems too hard. So I will say overall, I'm getting that pile 3, what is refreshing is your innocence. Right? Like someone that's not going to move, someone that's going to hide and pretend they don't see that there's a decision that needs to be made because they're afraid. And so that is, again, it's refreshing because it comes across as a sort of innocence, okay? That like a childlike wonder. That's that imagination, like all of this imagination, but that fear of stepping out into the world and doing it. I know this may not feel like positive energy, but it is to the people that encounter you, okay? Hanged man, patience, perspective. Exactly. That's the energy that comes through. It's like that releasing to the universe and just letting whatever that needs to come your way come to you. You're not going to work hard for anything. You're not going to struggle through anything. If you don't have to, you're going to let whatever comes to you come to you. If you have dreams, if you have things that you want to do, if it doesn't come naturally, then you're not that worried about it. You're allowing what's for you to come to you. That's the sort of, honestly, that's a unique sort of freedom that you have, right? You're not going to make hard decisions. You're going to let what's meant to come to you. And that is refreshing to a lot of people. See, 9 of feathers, perspective, self-empowerment. That's that anxiety. That's that worry, right? Like you're not going to allow yourself to worry, especially since the hangman is between these two cards. Like this is worrying and not knowing how to make a decision and making sure that you don't, like you pretend that it's not there. And this is stressed out, thinking about it consistently, consecutively. And then this is in the middle, just letting it all go. And that's you. That's the energy that you give people. So like they find that very, very refreshing. Okay, the moon, imagination, perspective. I don't know why that word's like that. It's perception. I don't know why I'm saying perspective. Like I'm trying to say perspective, but it's perception, but imagination, that creativity that you have. I'm saying that because you have perspective here as well. You actually have perspective twice on the table back to back. So it's patience, perspective, and then perspective again. And now you have perception. That's probably why I'm mixing my words. But honestly, you may, like the letter P may be relevant since it's here 3 times. But the moon is also Pisces energy, which is also another P word, or Cancer, depending on how you read it. It's Neptune. It's dreams. It's the planet of dreams, of illusions. And then you've got eels and starfish, very watery energy here, right? Very flowy energy, just rolling with the flow, going with the flow, just letting things do what it's supposed to do, how it's supposed to do without you trying to influence it. That is your energy. Like what's for you is for you. It will come to you without you having to stress out about it, right? That is what's refreshing. So I'm going to pull from these astrology based oracle decks, and then I'll pull from this Lenormand inspired deck to get more clarity before we get into those love oracles. So tell me about pile 3. It's funny because I'm like still pulling because I wanted one more, but renewal blue moon landed directly on. I'm going to leave it there because that's apparently where it wants to be positioned. Sometimes I scare myself with the way these cards fly out. But yeah, blue moon, number 13, renewal, right? Like, and And for me, a renewal is refreshing, right? Like just refreshing a perspective, allowing things to happen as they should, and just rolling with it, okay? Rolling with the tide. And infinite possibility and blue moon feels like rare opportunity. There was another pile where it was like, okay, you may just come across as very lucky. You come across as very lucky because even in this energy, like some people may refer to you as lazy or just lacking initiative, even in that you seem to get ahead, you seem to get where you're going, things seem to fall in place, but that's because you don't force it. And the people that recognize that energy, they're like, wow, pile 3 doesn't force anything and everything comes to them as they should. They get rare opportunities, they have infinite possibilities, like everything just goes their way. So I'm just gonna take the bottom. Number 5, play. Yeah, like it's like you play around and then things happen for you. That's interesting that came out that way, right? You stay refreshed. You don't let yourself get run down, or even if you do, you take the space to renew and then you play. Like you just enjoy life. You let things happen as they should. And I will also say with all this Neptune, Pisces, watery, dream-like energy, because it's a heavy theme of dreams and like imagination here, you may have like a dream-like energy, or you may be big on like I mentioned books, music, movies. Like you may like the fairy tale kind of vibe, so you may like have a certain style or presentation that kind of mirrors that to a certain degree, and even if not, your energy gives that off. And so like people find you to be very sweet and attractive. Like your energy is very sweet, very pure, very, very innocent. Okay, so let's see what this other deck has to say. But you do come across as very fun. And it's funny because I just split the deck and I don't know why I'm shuffling backwards, but we will continue. Look what's here. Neptune, dream and transcend. The planet here that is doing that, and then water. And I'm just randomly splitting, right? And I mentioned how attractive you are. There's Venus. So we'll just get a good shuffle and then I will do it. I don't know what told me to do it backwards. Maybe you do things backwards. Maybe you do things in reverse, or people perceive you as moving in reverse in some instances. Okay, so give me what makes pile 3. This is very innocent energy, I will say, because Virgo is ruled, like one of the symbols is virgin, which is very pure, innocent, possibly sometimes naive energy. And you do have integrity, reverence, and service. So this is someone that's very, like I said, possibly doesn't even, like this is my pile of people that, okay, and even not knowing how to make decisions, hard decisions, scary decisions, and not wanting to be worked up. This is also someone that may be very honest and not knowing how to lie, right? But with that pure, naive energy of not knowing how to be underhanded, right? You don't know how to lie. You don't know how to like scam or scheme or like do anything considered quote unquote bad. Like that's your energy. And people find that refreshing that you come across that way. Like you're never looking to get over, you don't know how, right? Like that's not your nature. At least that's how people see you, especially people that pursue you romantically. That's how you come across. So it doesn't mean that that's truly you. It's just, what people are seeing as refreshing. I know we say what makes you refreshing, but some of you, this could just be a perception, right? At the bottom, we've got Aries, independence, bravery, and passion. So when you're very active, it's funny because you're very self-identified, you're very self-aware in a lot of senses. So you may know that this is how you're coming across to people, whether you're doing it on purpose or if it's actually your energy. Aries here lets me know that, like, what is that? Hold on. I have like a random message. Yeah, no, sorry about that. You may be easily distracted, like me right now in the middle of this reading, but it was the most random thing that popped up just now. But anyway, yeah, this Aries energy shows that when you're active, when you apply effort, it's usually in areas of the creative, right? Like related to your imagination, things that are creative, things that are fun. That's where you place your effort. You're a highly creative individual, and that is very refreshing. Like you come across as like a pure creative. Like you like for the most part, like I'm not saying you don't operate from logic, you avoid it wherever you can. You'd rather not operate from a place of logic. You'd rather operate from a place of feeling. At least that's the impression, okay? But that's where you're applying your energy. Anytime you have structure or routine or service, anytime you're acting, it's from a place of that creative Neptune dreamlike energy. Like you'll work hard on something that is interesting to you, that is, you know, what you're creative, that fuels you creatively, that is fun to you, right? That's how you're coming across. That is what, but people find it refreshing because anybody that knows what you're passionate about, right? Because a lot of people aren't passionate about anything. Like there's people that aren't really passionate at all. And so like you have this pure, like unwavering passion for the areas that you're intrigued by. So that's interesting. So tell me, I'll take all three. Why not? Okay, you've got adjustments are required. Third quarter moon. That's that attention to detail coming through. So here's the thing. So far, before I even look at what's happening here, your attention to detail is very interesting in that you can pinpoint everything that needs to be corrected, even in, it doesn't matter what it applies to. You can find all of the errors. Like you're like, because you live in your head, because you're not really present, anytime if something's presented at you, you can pinpoint everything that needs to be corrected about it, everything that's wrong about it. And you're very good at that. That's interesting. Have faith in your dreams, waxing crescent moon. Lots of purple here. And then surrender to the divine. Exactly. That's that hangman energy. Ironically enough, it's going to land there underneath the hangman. At the bottom, you have it's time to release negativity, full moon and Scorpio. And anything you perceive as negative, you just won't engage because you don't know how. You're not doing it. So let me see what this is all about. So anytime, I think this is funny. Anytime you feel like you start working too hard, because Virgo rules day-to-day life, tasks, routines, and the mundane. Anytime you start doing that, you're like, oh no, I should not have to be this invested. And then you start adjusting and you're like, let me just surrender in my hangman energy. Right? Have faith in your dreams, surrender to, like you're willing to, you're just open. You're like, oh no, I shouldn't have to be like this. This shouldn't have to be like this. This is a negative situation. I should not have to work this hard. That's your energy, pile 3. That's funny. It's very funny. I didn't expect the orange juice pile to be this way, but this is what we're getting. But people find it refreshing because people like to be around people like you, because it's like, if you're not doing that, you're kind of teaching people how to flow, how to ease, how to get ahead without having to overextend. You're not doing that. You're like, wait a minute, I'm giving too much, because Virgo does rule overextending. You're like, hold on, it's time to assess like what's happening. I have faith in where I'm supposed to go. Let me just give it over. Honestly, this is my pile of people. Like, and I bet some of you have done this. You'll quit a job without another one. I can already tell. Like, you will quit a job without another one, which is hilarious to me, because like you're not worried about it. You're like, listen, this one came and so will another. Like, you're not worried about it. So like, that is refreshing that you're just committed to peace and fun, and pleasure and just life. You know what I mean? So let's see. Yeah, and I feel like this pile is actually moving very quickly so far. So that makes sense. Like it's not difficult. Like, what makes you refreshing, like you roll with it. You're letting things come to you. You flow. You flow, right? You probably have like a really flowy look about you. Like, you probably have like a otherworldly, like mystical look about you, I feel, with all of this Neptune energy coming through. But yeah. So tell me more about pile 3. What makes pile 3 refreshing? Right? And with embrace the in-between and the 2 of feathers, you're fine sitting content doing nothing. Like, you don't necessarily have to even be entertained. Like, you're fine. Like, if you need to just sit and do nothing, you will. Like, you don't get bored. And even if you're bored, you're like, well, at least I'm not like overextending. You don't care. And that's funny. It's funny to me at least, but people find it refreshing. I do find it refreshing. I didn't expect this energy to come through. Good for you, Pile 3. Let me see. Tell me what makes Pile 3 refreshing. What do people find refreshing about Pile 3? I don't know why I'm doing that today, but it's fine. Hold on. We've got a bit of a mix-up. Here it is. Let's get a good shuffle. And we'll close it out. At least with this deck, because I still have 3 more decks. I'm about to hop into those. See, all of that work, how hard I was working, all I did was create struggle, and then I just moved on, started discussing another topic and delicately with the deck, and then it flows out like that. That's your energy, right? But anyway, the point I was making just now was that after I see what this is in the bottom, we'll hop directly into the love energy. So we'll see how your crush, your person, how anybody that's incoming will perceive you romantically, you know, in a refreshing way. So this is 2. So you've got the child with that, which is that innocence, that bright-eyed, right? Like a bright-eyed energy, very bright-eyed. You might have eyes that are piercing, like very large, kind of like anime eyes, like Bratz doll eyes, but pure, innocent, you know, like that sweet energy, right? Virgo, like that virginal energy. That's how people see you, like in general. And then letter, this is that creative energy that I did see coming through. I feel like this is your creative endeavors. Like you're constantly reading, listening to music, watching movies, whatever it is that you get lost in, that's what you do. Okay? But like a childlike wonder, you get lost in your imagination, and you're fine and content doing those things. At the bottom, you have the tree, which is number 8. That is stability rooted. Like you're not, you know, like you're very comfortable being who you are. You're very firm in what it is you like and don't like, right? Very rooted in what you desire and don't desire. So I'm going to put this here. And then let's look at the book really quick and see more energy. I know that the child is new beginnings and whatnot, but what I want is clarification on both the letter and the tree. Okay, so the letter talks about written communication, like I said. Yeah, I mean, it's basically news. So news, like there's always news regarding you and something inspiring that you've done, or something new that you've done, or some idea that you have, or creative. Like there's always conversations and messages coming in regarding your energy, right? And something that you've shifted, okay? And then you have at the bottom the tree, which is, what is that? Because it looks like an 8 from a distance. So it may be, it's not an 8. It's a 5. Fancy script there. You may have a difficult to read handwriting. I don't know why that came through, but you may have a difficult to read handwriting, and or it may be very scriptive and like actually like so like creative and beautiful, but hard to read. I feel like some of you do. Okay, but the tree is about all things within us that run deep, right? It's health, it's depth, it's physical, it's mental, and honestly, it talks about you're real, you're authentic, and your focus, your priority is on your health. Whether we're talking about mental health with that Pisces energy that feels heavy, whether it's about your physical health, especially your physical health, because Virgo does rule health and wellness. You're not going to let anything affect your health. You're trying to stay young forever. Like you have that energy, like you're trying to be forever young. That may be your channeled song. Honestly, I hope, let me get to the computer real quick and put forever young. Yes, I did just type that. That's your channeled song, Pile 3. Forever young. Very inspired, just wanting to do it. Okay, wanting to be everything, everywhere, in your mind though, like not in real life, because that's hard work. Okay, I love this energy coming through for you. It's so sweet. So let me even like tree houses, right? Like fairy tales, castles. I get that for a lot of you. So let me just pull from these love-based oracle decks so we can see what makes you refreshing in a romantic sense. Some of you may write children's stories, and that is refreshing, just because it's something unique, right? Or like stories that would appeal to children. Some of you are like librarians. Some of you are like work with children, tell stories to children, act out plays for children. Like I see those instances. All right. Some of you have been writing since childhood. Been very creative since you were a child. Tell me. Passion. Look at that. What makes you refreshing is your deeply rooted passion. You feel very deeply, you experience very deeply, and that's part of why you're not working hard. Like working hard for you is harder than other people. Like it's harder. I can tell that it's harder on your physical body than other people's, because you live so passionately, and you're so creative, and you're so sensitive, in that every little thing you experience, you feel very vividly. Like you taste everything very vividly, you hear very vividly. And so experiences that are hard, like people that are built for that, you are not built for that. And you're not built for that. You don't pretend to be built for that. You're not, right? So like this is a deep feeling person, and so hard work feels it feels like 10 times harder on you than it would be someone that just doesn't care, right? So like that's why it's harder on you, and you're not doing it. I understand you. Look at this. We see you. We see you, Pile 3. I see you. So, but you're passionate, and that's what people love about you and experiencing you. And it's refreshing because, again, not many people feel that intensely. So when people engage you romantically, they're like, I've never met such a passionate, more romantic person in my life. And that's refreshing, okay? So I think I want one more. I'll take the bottom, and then we'll pull from those other decks. Tell me more about Pile 3. What do people find refreshing about them in a romantic way? See, just slipped right into my hand. Trust. The situation is calling for you to have faith. Your blind faith that everything is going to have to work out because you're not going to force it is refreshing, right? And also your trustworthy nature, your honesty, your integrity, right? Your purity, because you're so pure, so in your head that you don't really know how to be anything other than trustworthy, right? You're very honest, very clear, even when you wish you didn't know how to be. You just can't help it, okay? Because you're so passionate, you wear your heart on your sleeve. So even if you were to try to lie, your emotions would just expose you, okay? But yeah, that's the trust. So like, but those are the qualities that romantic partners value in you: passion and trust. At the bottom, religious factors. Your love life is influenced by your religious upbringing and spiritual path. So a lot of you here are deeply spiritual. I'll just put it here. It's fine. I slide this over. You're deeply spiritual and or religious, right? That's that innocent energy. You may have been sheltered. You may be religious since childhood or spiritual since childhood. And a lot of people that pursue you romantically, they like that. Others of you, it's still that Virgo routine, day-to-day energy. Something about the way you live day-to-day is refreshing. Like, again, I think there was a pile and a reading I did a while back. I don't even remember which one it was or what the topic was, but it came across as the person that likes to romanticize your life. Like you like to, that main character energy, like liking to just be real dramatic about everything that you do. Like even if you're cleaning, like it becomes an experience. Like you may put music on, like a candle, like it becomes a scene, right? Like that's kind of how you like to live. And you're very set in your routine and the things you like to do day to day. And those are the things that are attracting people to you romantically, especially if you have a specific person in mind. They love how passionate and trustworthy you are. And religious factors is also integrity. It is also honesty, right? Because people that, not saying that if you're not religious or spiritual, you're not trustworthy, but again, when you have those practices, you have that foundation, it typically is taught that is something you should be, right? And also, even if you're not religious or spiritual, but you are religious day to day, routine like. People that have a structured routine, like a way that they like to live day to day. This is what I do, this is what I do, and then this is what I do in a list. Those people are more predictable, thereby more trustworthy. Even though it feels like you're not predictable in a sense, like externally, in your internal world and the way that you behave and the things that you do are predictable. So like, even though like people would expect, oh, quitting a job like without having another one is unpredictable, for you it's not. That's exactly what people would expect you to do. They'd be like, yep, Pile 3 is definitely the type to do that. Like, people aren't surprised when it's you that does the things that aren't necessarily conventional, because it's built into you as a person, right? With Blue Moon, like, you're a rarity, and that's refreshing. So let me get my last 2 decks. Tell me about pile 3. What is my orange juice pile most refreshing about? Like, what makes them that way? I'm going to do something very chaotic. There's 2 cards here that threw themselves, and I'm just going to glance and see. So you have reconciliation, be open to someone returning and wanting to work things out, and clarity. Someone finally sees the answer that was always right in front of their eyes. The vision is clear, therefore what is to come shall be clear too. This is that honesty and that clarity. Honest, and those of you where you're asking about someone specific, this is your confirmation that it's going to work out. Clarity was actually at the bottom of the deck when I cleansed and reset to make sure that I could see clearly for this pile. And I actually think it got brighter just now when I said that. So you are the clearest thing. Like, when people meet you, it's something about you. You're just so clear, upfront, truthful, honest, right? Like, in a way that people don't find that level of purity anymore. It's not common anymore. So I'm going to take this like this. I'll pull a third one just so that I can get a true bottom. But I just felt like those 2 were just like, they stared right at me. So I grabbed them. You have warm embrace. Let yourself enjoy your partner's loving arms around your body. Their touch ignites a flame within you. You're very loving, right? You have very loving energy about you. And then explore. That's that creativity, that imagination energy coming through. It says, take a ride and explore new scenery or each other's inner thoughts. Like, people that pursue you romantically, especially those of you that you're asking about someone specific, your mind, the way your mind works. Again, I said that at the beginning, but just really just interacting with you and getting to the deep depths of you. And you do have Scorpio energy here, which implies a depth. Like, something about it just makes them closer to you and wanting to be closer. Like, people like to cuddle with you, okay? They definitely do. Yes, I've got my last one. I'll take the bottom, and then we'll look at that Twin Flames Soulmate Oracle, okay? Getting to know each other. Enjoy discovering new commonalities, goals, and dreams as you get to learn more about each other. Exactly. So romantic partners, they love just to get to know you, just the getting to know you process, because again, you have so much creativity. You have so much in your routine. Just every little detail about you is intriguing, because you're in, again, I mentioned that you feel and experience everything wholly, which is why negative energy is very hard on you the way it isn't the average person. And so because of that, your perspective on the world is something literally only to be imagined. So interacting with you, exploring your mind, getting to know you is a lot in a good way. And that is how, especially those of you that are asking about specific people, I know some of you are asking about like crushes as well. That's a popular topic. They like getting to know you, or would like to get to know you, okay? Because there's varying connections. There's those of you that are extremely single, and this is just how people that are interested in you romantically pursue you, and also a sign that someone may come in to get to know you soon. There's those of you that are in connections with people you've been engaging that want to explore the connection further. And then there's those of you that have crushes where you may not have ever interacted with the person. You're just trying to get to know them. And this is your confirmation that that's something that can happen, okay? At the bottom, you have exactly the energy I've been getting. Quality time. Okay, so quality time means putting away the phone and clearing your brain of anything distracting so you can ensure your partner is your number one focus. This person specifically, if loves your attention, wants your attention, or, you know, when it comes down to people pursuing you romantically or people that you're pursuing romantically, they love having your attention, right? They love the depth of your attention and the depth of your feeling and how expressive you are, right? You may be the type with child and letter, you may be the type to write letters to someone, like write like handwritten letters. That's really cute. And people that are pursuing you romantically enjoy those types of things, okay? They find that refreshing, especially in this day and age where everything's so digital and technical. Like if you write, draw, hand make something, that's very, you know, interesting for your person. They like that, okay? So let me get from this last deck. We'll get 2 or 3. We'll roll with it like your energy. I'll roll with it like your energy, pile 3. So we'll take 2 or 3. However it flows. Okay, here's my first one. Many loves. Again, you are adored. You're adored. Many loves. Okay? Lots of people find you refreshing. You are adored. And also, this is also an energy of how many loves you have. Not necessarily as it relates to people, right? Even though you love all people, many people, right? Platonically and otherwise, you have the way you share love is very pure, but you have many passions, okay? Many passions. And that is refreshing. So I guess I'm placing that means I'm taking 2 more. Games, you like fun, right? You may be very flirtatious, especially with many loves. You may be very flirtatious. That's what makes you refreshing. Like you're very openly expressive, right? You may be flirtatious, but playing games also is play, like fun, okay? So like that's that fun, loving energy. So let me get one more. What makes pile 3 refreshing? I've got a lot going on. So I will take what is at the true bottom here. I'm nosy, so I'm going to glance to see what's in reverse up here. But this is my card. So let's be nosy. Flighty in reverse. Okay, so maybe in connections you aren't flighty. So you have many loves and playing games. Maybe once you get to know someone and once you truly like dive deep with them, you connect and that's it. Because the reversal of flighty could also be clingy, right? That's stable energy, right? Wanting quality time, wanting to get to know someone, wanting to explore with someone. What is that? Warmth? Is that warm embrace at the bottom? I think it is. So like, you know, if you're the type to be very flirtatious and date around, your person likes that you're not like that with them, right? Or if this is incoming energy, that's how it'll be. It's like, okay, now that you're invested in them, you're not worried about that anymore from a romantic perspective, okay? It's like winning, right? Like this person may feel like they won a game because like in all of the people, you chose them with flighty in reverse, okay? And also, it could be the opposite. People that tend to date around and play games, when it comes to you, you lock them in, right? I don't know why I put that down. I said I was going to be nosy and put it away, but you lock them in. Let's see what this is. Look at that. See how everything happens? I said I was going to flow. I was going to take 2 or 3, and then it happened. So love story. So I'm spot on. It's like, either you pull your energy into one person when you're all in, or your person's feeling that way about you. And I feel like it can be both, right? Like if you have a person that really was exploring their options, something about you, and maybe it's your romantic nature, is just really locking them in. This is actually a really cute card with the rose, right? Love story. That's the energy. This is how that person is seeing you. That's what's refreshing, is that they don't have to be, So the more generic version of all of the specific scenarios I was just laying out is everybody's outside, right? Flighty, you know, playing games, dating around, and you are just a romantic. You're the love story. You just want to be, you know, warm embrace, exploring with your person, getting to know them, spending quality time with a specific person. You're not invested in outside energy. This is my introverted pile to a certain degree. Like, you're friendly, you're flirtatious in some senses, but you feel very romantic, okay? At the bottom, you have no. And I think that is my confirmation of your boundaries, right? Like, you're not doing anything you don't want to. This may be my confirmation for this above energy. Like, no, you want a love story, not many loves, not game playing, and then flighty in reverse. You want consistency, okay? And that is refreshing. And I will say it feels like, because, and I probably would read it otherwise if many loves, playing games, and then flighty was upright. With flighty in reverse, it's like an end to that energy. Your person doesn't want that. Your person wants the love story. That's what I'm getting for your pile, okay? Especially those of you that have a specific person in mind. Others of you, this is incoming energy or just how people react to you. Something about you makes people want a connection, okay? It's probably your flowy, idealized version of love and romance. Like, you make people want love. Like, how like the holiday season makes people want to be in a relationship. That's you're the holiday season. Okay, you make people want connections even when they normally wouldn't. Okay, and this is you do this with your friends too, not just your lovers. Like, you make your friends be like, man, I wish I had somebody, even if they're content being single, because of the way you wrote, like whatever you're reading or watching, or the way you talk about it, right? Or if you are in love and with a person, the way you express your love for your person makes your friends like, man, maybe I should start dating. You know what I mean? That's how you come across as very, very refreshing. Okay, so that is all I have for you today, pile 3. Hopefully it resonated. If it did, please like, comment, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you can stay in the know on the content we post here on this channel. Thank you for watching. All right, pile 4, my strawberry juice pile. This is the most unconventional juice I selected, I think. I think coconut water is a little more expected than the strawberry juice. So I'm intrigued to see what's gonna come out here. So let's look and see what makes you refreshing, right? It's a spin on what makes you attractive. I'm gonna pull from this deck to see if I can get a little bit of an overview. We'll hop into the tarot, and then obviously I have my astrology based oracle decks if you're used to being here, and then I will pull specifically for love at the end. So if you have a specific connection of any kind, they're in the description box. It can apply, especially those of you that have been asking for a lot of crush readings lately. That energy will definitely apply. And those of you that are super single, no crush, no person, just dry, needing fresh juice, like the reading suggests, well, we'll see what could be coming in, and just the energy that is very refreshing to romantic partners that are looking to pursue you, so that you can emphasize those qualities, right? So let's hop right into it. Tell me about pile 4, my strawberry juice. I'm seeing, okay, so I will say, I am seeing red lipstick, and I get it, yeah, strawberry juice, but specifically, it doesn't have to be the red lipstick. What I'm seeing emphasized is the fuller lips, okay? So that could be a physical quality, like maybe it's just the shape of your lip, or maybe it's the fullness, but something is coming through for my strawberry, okay, my strawberry juice pile. So let me see, tell me what's refreshing about pile 4. What is refreshing about pile 4? I've been doing that all day. I'm not even gonna lie, like, it just, I don't know. I don't have a good grip on the deck, but we'll adjust. We'll get another good shuffle, and we'll adjust. All right. What makes pile 4 refreshing? There's 1. I've been taking 2 for each pile, so I'll get you another one as well. What makes pile 4 refreshing? Can I get 1 more, please? Okay, this one wants to be, I think there was a pile where I took 3. We'll do it. Why not? Doesn't hurt me. You are never alone. The outer spirit. You have very nurturing, giving, loving vibe. Okay, something about, and it's funny because I was thinking like some of you may have like a heart-shaped lip, like top lip, something about like a certain dip that people find refreshingly attractive. But yeah, this something about the way you love people. It's very, very refreshing. Like you don't leave people hanging, you don't leave people alone. Like something about the way you support others. Okay, the way you support others make people feel very warm. Trying to like grasshopper spirit, take a leap of faith. Lots of faith. A lot of you have a lot of faith. Good for you, because like that's a quality we need. Is faith, whether in yourself, others, the universe, God, whatever your religious beliefs. Okay, you have cat spirit, claim your independence. So some of you may be definitely coming from other piles, because I feel like this energy is recurring energy, not recurring cards, but recurring energy. But again, this is okay. So you feel this is my, I think this might be my most spiritual pile. I had a pile, I won't spoil it, where there was a certain head in the clouds, innocent energy, but it wasn't necessarily like a deeply spiritual, so say. Like it was just more like I'm a creative, right? Like a pure, unwavering creative, like not considering logic at all. This pile feels like connection to spirit, right? You are not alone. Take a leap of faith, claim your independence. It could be a message for you, but this seems to be your energy that people find refreshing. Like you always feel supported. You always feel you're always going to have what you need, and you're willing to take whatever chances, risks you need to take in a means of being who you are authentically, would claim your independence. But you do so very strategically. You do have a certain logic. Like cats are cunning, right? Like you'll leap like a grasshopper, but you do so with certain intelligence, with a certain logic behind it, right? You do make calculated decisions, but you also take risks that maybe other people wouldn't take, because while you have logic, you also have faith, right? Supporting it. So knowing the minimal information you can with your logical mind, and you have to come off all of the facts in a way that you feel like, okay, it's still going to be a bit of a risk. When you feel called to do something, even if it goes against your logic, like it's not like you don't have logic, like you ignore it. You have logic, even if it doesn't necessarily align with the logic, you'll do it anyway, because you trust your gut, you trust your instincts, your intuition. Okay, love that energy coming through for you. Beautiful. Okay, you have owl spirit. Look at that. You see clearly now. Exactly. Certain wisdom. I talked about being cunning. Like you have like an intelligence about you, but it's more than that. There's a certain wisdom, like the owl. And you, again, this is my psychic pile. This is my deeply spiritual pile. You have a deeply in tune intuition. You don't have to be like psychic reading tarot. You could just be very spiritual in your religious practice. And because of that, you open yourself up to the higher guidance, right? Like when you pray and ask for something, you have to open and be receptive to it, right? And you do. You open when you pray for clarity, right? You get it. And you know exactly what to do, even if it's risky, even if it requires a leap of faith. You know that you're supported by the divine, whatever that is for you. And you're very open about it. And even if you're not open about communicating it, you're very open about how you can see that something's going to work out, even if the odds may be against you. Like people can see that faith in you just based on your actions. Okay, so let me talk more about what makes you refreshing, pile 4. What is it about pile 4 that is refreshing? And like I said, I will pull specifically for romance. But this pile does have a certain romantic edge, not necessarily as it relates to a specific person, but as a religious mindset, right? Like this is a person that would take a leap of faith and move cross country to start a new life in hopes of finding their purpose and love, right? That's kind of what I see. Tell me more about what makes pile 4 refreshing. The Magician. Look at that. Willpower and creation. Again, logical mind still, because while the Magician is deeply spiritual, it's not the High Priestess, right? Number 2, High Priestess is kind of the unconscious, the hidden thing. It's the moving. The Magician is very active and logical and like in pursuit. It's ruled by Mercury, ruler of Gemini, the sign of logic, right? Like it is communication and intellect. So you have this faith. Like some of you, it is like how you can be both spiritual and logical. That is what makes you refreshing. It's like you have what people call common sense, right? You operate from logic, you operate from fact, right? You don't disregard what happens day to day, but at the same time, you're not going to let that limit you in your progress and your potential, right? Because everything that is was once a concept. Everything that is was once, just a thought, right? So you have to take a leap of faith sometimes on things so that they can even become real. And you have no problem with creation and manifesting things with this Magician card. Like even if it's something new that's never been done before, you see the potential for it and you're willing to take the risk just to see, right? And that's what people find refreshing about you. And with that Gemini energy, you may shift your appearance a little bit. You may have multiple sides to you. Yeah, exactly. So the Shaman, that is the Hierophant. So you've got both cards that I consider, especially since it's both of the major arcana. These are the 2 cards in the deck that I consider to be quote unquote masculine expression of spirituality and religion. It's the active principles of those areas. And so with the Magician, this may be my divine masculine power. Honestly, I could see that for some, but it doesn't mean that you are. It just means that you're very refreshing in your expression of your masculine principle. So these 2 cards are what I consider to be like, how spirituality has the opposing polarity of religion, which is like how you practice your spirituality, the routine of it, the religious texts and whatnot. These cards represent those things. And it's kind of a logical and practical approach to spirituality. So it's like as above, so below, connecting with your higher self to express yourself and create things that didn't exist before, routines, all of the stuff, right? Like you're very good. This is my pile that is very, very gifted at manifesting, okay? I want to pull one more, even though let me just see. 7 of Crystals. Okay, we're not pulling a third one. I was about to, but I think we got what we need here. And like when I hit like this, I was like, oh, well, hold on. We might be done. We have the 7 of Crystals, which is options. It is results. And so taking risks and seeing results as a result, right? Because the 7 of Crystals is the 7 of Pentacles. That is a harvest. Okay, it is a harvest energy that shows you being rewarded for seeds that you've planted at the beginning of the season. The seeds that you planted in this Magician card and nurtured with the Shaman, which is the Hierophant, right? It's processes, it's institutions, right? I consider it to be the institution of religion itself. It says divine wisdom and spiritual power. So you've got willpower, creation, divine wisdom, spiritual power, and then you've got options and results. A harvest for all of this work. Some of you may be like spiritual practitioners of some kind, like true like occultists, like some root workers. I see people that may practice like hermeticism coming through. Like I see a lot of different spiritual practices, but you move things, right? You make things shift. I can see that. And even if not, when you pray, you see it come through. Like your faith in God, whatever God is yours, you see it, you believe because you see it in the physical 3D plane. Okay, so let's pull these astrology-based oracle decks and see more about what it is that makes you refreshing. People like that you can take something from concept to real life though. Like that's a thing. Okay, tell me more about pile 4. What is it about pile 4 that makes them refreshing and attractive to people? Especially those of you that are able to like shift your appearance for the better, like when you improve your appearance in some way. Yes. Aries, the inspirer. Very active. Again, I think this is my divine masculine pile. Again, like I said, it doesn't have to be you. Doesn't mean you're masculine in your expression. It just means that your active principle, your building potential, your manifesting. Like when I say manifesting, I don't mean from a receptive place. I mean from a go out and get it place. Like it's one thing to draw things in, but it's another thing to use your hand and get. And you can, right? Some of you are very physically active day to day, and people find that very, very refreshing because for whatever reason that's not common in the people around you. So being physically active is a thing, but Aries is ruled by Mars. It's first house of identity, right? But it's the inspirer, the magician, the shaman, right? It is, right? Mars is the god of war and activity, right? Strategy, all of those things coming through here. Oh, and I forgot to mention that the shaman, the Hierophant, that is Taurus energy, right? That's second house energy of assets, of ownership, of my stuff. So you have me, I am, and you have I own, right? You see the energy here, I am and I own, and I think with the Gemini energy coming through. That is, you're very, very powerful in your presence, okay? You have boundaries. 32. It came out in reverse. And listen, it doesn't mean that you lack boundaries at all, because I know you do. Everything on your pile, this would be, I would be contradicting this previous energy by taking it in that sense. By no boundaries, it means that your creativity and your ability to build and manifest knows no bounds. So the lack of boundaries isn't your lack of boundaries with other people, even though in some instances, from a positive, refreshing perspective, I see that, right? Like you connect with people, right? You know how to manage your own personal identity and remain who you are and on purpose while still connecting with others, right? With You Are Never Alone. You're still able to support other people. You don't have that firm, hard boundary separating you from the collective, right? You connect. That's actually the key to your manifesting powers. If you didn't know, it's your ability to still maintain your relationship with the collective while still being yourself, and that eliminates that boundary from your mind to what physically is. Okay, beautiful. Tell me more about pile 4. What makes them refreshing? Like people are seeing whatever you're creating. You must be very successful, very intelligent, very creative in some way. Whatever it is you're doing, people see it, especially when you see it clearly. You see clearly now, and You Are Never Alone. People can see how you're building and creating. There's 2. House 8, transformation, karma, facing fears, and legacies. Like it's almost, you know what, with legacies, it's like you're building a legacy, because house 8 is Scorpio energy, and it rules inheritances. So you may be, this may be spiritual, religious practices that have been passed down to you, skills, talents that have been passed down to you. Something about you, you may have gifts, right? It doesn't have to be spiritual gifts. It can be just truly just talents that you are genetically predisposed to, because people before you had those talents in your bloodline, and like you're really building with it. So a lot of you, the people so far that are coming through that find you refreshing are your family members, because you're taking generational talent, like ancestral talent, and I don't know what I just said, but ancestral talent, and you're doing something with it. You're grounding it, and you're seeing results, specifically as it relates to money, with the 7 of crystals. Okay, you have here the conjunction, a union, merging, and coming together. That's you in the collective. Okay, some of you, if you're like, this is a big energy, I don't see it for me, it is. Some of you, it all begins with healing your issues with intimacy. I don't mean just like from a sensual, 18 plus perspective. I mean like issues with intimacy, right? Connecting with others. Once you do that, or as you do that, or as you've done that, this energy will expand even further and more people will have visibility to it. But it's the issues with intimacy, right? That's why you have that Aries which is I and me. The opposite polarity to that is Libra, which is connecting. It's your relationships, right? So yeah, I can see that. But you're also very good at working with people, whether you realize it or not. Even in your heavy independence, you're very good at combining with people. It's just when you let this Scorpio 8th house guard down, this intimacy, that fear of it, because these two, this is 100% fear of intimacy, just so we're clear, right? Because this is the sensual house, and it also is fears and transformations, and conjunction is a union, merger. So like, you know what I mean? Like connecting with someone on a deeper level, or people on a deeper level. Like I said, doesn't have to be sensual energy, even though some instances it may be where the issues with intimacy lie. It just means that may be the generational quote unquote curse that you may be clearing, and that's refreshing. And Cancer confirms what I just said. A lot of you, this is family, your actual blood family, or it doesn't have to be by blood. It's just the people closest to you whose habits and routines you've adopted, right? These are the people that are most like refreshed by your energy. So because you have nurture, comfort, and protection, and this is the 4th house of your ancestry. Okay, it's your roots, it's where you're comfortable, and you're also very comfortable just simply being yourself. I'll put it here because you can still see. So that confirms, sorry, I don't mean to knock that, what I've been saying this whole time. So let me pull from this last Moonology astrology based deck. I'll pull from this Lenormand deck, and then we'll hop into those loved ones, okay? Tell me more about pile 4. What makes pile 4 refreshing? And those of you where the whole family energy may not be resonating, it's still here. Oh yeah, it's definitely here. I'm holding the deck in reverse, but Scorpio is here. Let me put it upright. But that may be the confirmation for those of you where it's not resonating. It may go so far back that you don't realize, like, this may be actual ancestors, because the house 8 rules death. So this could be actual like spirit guides from the other side that you may have never met, that find you refreshing, like a refreshing touch to the bloodline. I didn't expect that to come through. My true like medium kind of esque psychic stuff, I do these lighthearted readings, but sometimes every now and then, you know, the other side steps in, and like some of you, it just goes so far back you don't know them. Okay, like you don't know that this is energy that is observing you from the other side. Okay, very impressed with you. So one thing I will say, I want to make sure that it's very clear, because some of you may check out because it's scary. Pile 4, your ancestors are very impressed with your energy. Love that. And you will be supported. Okay. Definitely. Some of you, and those of you where this, because this is my psychic pile, if you know, then you know, right? Magician, shaman, the owl spirit, like, you already know. But those of you where this is new to you, if this is like your first time getting a tarot reading, don't worry about it. It just means you're protected and you're supported. So let me see. I wanted to say also that what makes you refreshing is how nurturing and supportive you are of other people, right? Especially with that Cancer card, and connecting. Because intimacy, it doesn't have to be issues with intimacy, even though that's the dominant energy. It could be that you are very deeply bonded with people, right? You connect with people, especially if you're in that energy. Some of you are healers, okay? And that is refreshing. So like you may be refreshing in your field. For example, if you are a nutritionist, the way that you do things, it's very refreshing to your clients. If you are a personal trainer, it's very refreshing. The way you handle your clients is different from the other trainers. Though if you are a chef, the way you cook, the way you combine foods, it's healing. Your food has magic in it, right? If you are a healthcare professional, if you take care of people's health, nurse, doctor, surgeon, all of the things, the way you do it, you have a very unique touch. If you are not considered the best, you have the potential to be the best in your field, because you have this magician, shaman, inspiring energy, okay? You have a certain clarity about you, right? And that healing energy with the Cancer. I see doulas, I see morticians, right? With the house 8, I see the things. You're very gifted at what you do. Just know that, okay? Whatever way you're connecting with others. Luck is on your side. I told you, you're protected. As you continue to grow and expand, Sagittarius energy, that's 9th house energy of elevation, ruled by Jupiter, which is expansion. It talks about higher education. So if you're on a journey for school, if these are things that you're pursuing, you are supported, you will be successful. But people find your energy and your passion and your way of pursuing this as refreshing, okay? Whatever it is you do, the way you do it, especially your career path and your hobbies, it is very, very refreshing. It comes easy to you, naturally to you, because these are inherited skills, right? These are inherited skills that work well for you. They come together naturally because they are natural gifts, okay? And luck is on your side. So you're always going to do well at it, right? You're very fortunate. And because your skills and talents are needed in the world, you're always going to be lucky. And people see you as that. And that's part of what makes you refreshing is people love your energy. So they like to see you blessed. So they pray for you more. And then they try to help you more because you're so likable. Because I get that this is my very likable pile. Even if you don't think you are. That's funny. Tell me more. I want one more. I'll take the bottom. Listen, I've had it up to here with my decks. They've just been jumping out of my hand all day. And I mean, I'm trying to make sure that I keep them upright. I think sometimes when that happens, it means I'm pulling too many cards and I'm not even trying to be funny. So I'll try to see if I can get one more and take the bottom. Tell me more about pile 4. What makes pile 4 refreshing? Thank you. Surrender to the divine. Okay. Full moon. Exactly. You're always lucky as long as you trust your instincts. Because again, like I said, this is my psychic power. So even if you don't feel like you're psychic, you don't believe in that kind of a thing, you're not feeling intuitive, you are, you just don't realize it. You don't have to accept it. That's fine. Don't worry about it. But like, as long as you just trust your gut, your instinct, whatever that feeling is that you're like, oh no, I have this feeling that it always is going to work out. And then you follow it and it does. That's why, because like you're going to stay lucky as long as you trust that feeling that you have. Okay. And I don't know how this turned into this kind of a reading, but yeah, I mean, people just feel like you're just lucky. And I think that's what it is. People just feel like you're lucky. You know, like you're faithful, you just do what you want, and then it just works out. At the bottom, balance, spirituality, practicality. I did mention that already. I'm not going to continue to develop that energy, especially since I have the Pisces energy, that 12th house energy, where I mentioned already the hospitals, mental health. So my therapists, psychiatrists are here. I mentioned health care professionals. I mentioned my psychic energy, my health and wellness individuals. My creatives are also here. Let me put this right here. All right. So let me hop into this Lenormand deck. Okay. And see what I can get. What makes pile 4 refreshing? I definitely physically see it. It can be your eyes. A certain grace about the way you move as well with that cat spirit. You may like float, glide, be very delicate. I think I have a channel song. Yep. Yes, we do. All right. Tell me about what makes pile 4. I'm laughing because now all I hear is your channel song. It's crazy. Now I can't. Now let me put it down like I'm supposed to. All right, and then I will get back to the shuffle because I couldn't even find the word refreshing because all I kept hearing was the word float. because that's the channel song. Not even like the song, just the word keep playing in my head. So some of you may literally like glide when you walk, and that makes sense because this card just flew. Crossroads. Definitely my spiritual practitioners, like my root workers, all of the things, my hoodoo, you know, all of that coming through with the number 22 crossroads here. Also, I associate just crossroad energy with the other side in general, with the dead. So like I said, lots of protection. Some of you may have that energy that people can tell that you're divinely protected, or they can tell you work with the dead or whatever. Like some of you, your spiritual practices just come out very, you wear it openly. Like you're not ashamed of who you are. Therefore, people find that in and of itself refreshing if this is you. I'm going to pull out the book to get more clarity, though, on what the crossroads means traditionally. But I know it is a decision, and your decision making is impeccable, right? Because you use logic, right? And like balance spirituality and practicality. And it's funny because underneath boundaries here, expansion is trying to show itself. So like you use your higher mind as well as your logical mind in conjunction, literally, as you have that card here. And it just, you always make the best decision. At the bottom, you've got the anchor. Okay, I think is that 35? I think that's 35, right? The anchor, look at that. Grounded, rooted underneath the water. So let's see. The anchor is very solid, stable energy. It's someone that can't be moved unless they want to be, just so we're clear. So let me start with the crossroads. And it says you'll be taking a trip, literally or figuratively, as it's time to make a decision, right? It says many opportunities or options with little guidance. And it talks about free will. And it also talks about knowing that whatever it is you're supposed to do, and you can pause and read if you want to, that the decision will always take you where you're meant to go, right? Like I said, that crossroads, that decision. And it also talks about a choice to be authentic. So let me find the anchor. Well, it's definitely 35 because 38 doesn't exist. It says, after traveling your journey and dropping your anchor, you have reached the goal of stability. Exactly. It says it can represent persistence that has brought on long-lasting and faithful results. Okay? That's you, right? You took a journey, you made a decision, you went a certain direction, and now you're rooted in this harvest, which is the 7 of crystals, right? You found a home, whether that's a physical home, a spiritual home, or like just a healthy mental and a physical space, right? That is what people find refreshing about you, is that you lead with this energy of making a choice that's going to put you where you're supposed to be, right? That's going to help put others where they're supposed to be, right? Making a decision that's always going to end with something solid and concrete and successful. That's refreshing. Like you always want to do well. You always want to succeed and achieve. Even when we're talking about other people and making decisions for other people. Okay? So let me see. I have this here because I wanted this to connect, but it's not. That's not how that's gonna go. So let me see from a romantic perspective, though, because I have these last 3 decks. We'll close it out. Tell me about. Let's see. Incoming energy. So you might be getting engaged soon. You might be getting a romantic offer soon. Those of you that are asking specifically about like when is it happening, this person, blah blah blah, it's coming in. It says your love life is ascending to a higher level of commitment. But in general, what makes you refreshing is your commitment, your dedication, your engagement. You're all in on something when you're working on it, right? And you're very dedicated. You work very diligently on the things that matter to you, right? And all of this active energy, it is routine energy. It's doing what you have to do in the right order, at the right time, in the right place, in the right setting. Like you're always very attentive in the way that things are supposed to happen. Okay? So let me pull one more. I'll take the bottom. My phone is ringing. I'm trying to debate on if I know the number. You may not know. You may not always know the people that call on you. And honestly, that may be from the other side as well. At the bottom, I mean, can you give your relationship a chance? That's not how it says, but it was tricky because it came in reverse. So I'm intrigued. Work on your partnership. Give your relationship a chance. So I'm going to take it as it came. And I'll take one more because I'm curious as to why we have contradictory energy. Okay. That's I'm not taking all of this baggage from those of you in existing connections because we don't have time. I'll be here all day. I can't. If there's issues in an existing connection, right? And you're hesitant, follow your gut. This is my power. You're refreshing because you know how to use your logical and spiritual mind in conjunction. So you're gonna have to use that. I'm not gonna do that for this pile because this isn't about a connection specifically. But we'll see what the third card says, and I might be able to give you something. But there's other readings on my channel about troubled connections, though, if you want details. But we want to stick to the topic, okay? What makes you refreshing? True love. All right. So what it says, this is the romance of a lifetime. So just in general, what makes you refreshing from a love-based perspective is that you are not you're not the type to date around. You're not very open and receptive. I think you're so focused on your purpose and your life path and the things that you're doing and connecting with others in a useful way, right? In a way that means something, right? Sometimes you may think that romance is just frivolous, but you're not dating around. And with the engagement and true love, when love sticks for you, it sticks, and people like that. Okay, would give your relationship a chance in reverse. It's kind of an unavailability that people find refreshing in a day and age, I guess, when people are kind of very open to just dating around and getting to know people. You do have forgiving and learning as you release and heal the past. You experience more love in your present moments. So here's the thing. There's no way around those of you with the baggage from the ex. And I'll say this. So those of you where this is an ex, the thing that's interesting for me is that your ex finds it extremely refreshing, right? Extremely refreshing that even though you've moved on completely, right? You've moved on. You're not interested in them. There's no way you'll ever engage them. You have forgiven them. Like you like when you engage them, you can still be cordial. You can still talk to them like a normal person. Like you can still be super friendly. You might even hug them like a friend, right? Like when you see them out and about with engagement, like you don't run from them. You talk to them and you engage them, right? They will never be your lover again. Would give your relationship a chance in reverse, right? Even if you feel like they're your true love, right? You may never love like that again. You forgiving them. You've learned from the situation. And you've moved on. It is what it is. Like there's literally no bad blood, at least not on your part. So like your person finds that extremely refreshing from an ex perspective. Some of you in current connections or with a crush or in the future, this is what your person is going to find extremely refreshing about you, is that you don't hold grudges against your ex. You don't have time, or your exes. Right? You don't have time. Even though your exes have no chance ever, like your current partner, your future partners can be very safe and secure in the connection, right? You don't hold grudges. So just the fact that you don't hold grudges in general is refreshing, but it's especially refreshing that like, yeah, that's crazy. I was with Pal 4 and we saw the ex, and if you communicate with your partner's like, yeah, I remember, man, that person did Pal 4 dirty, but I mean, they were cordial. They were nice. They were friendly at even. So that's an interestingly refreshing energy you give off that you're sending out to people from a romantic perspective. Others of you, your person just likes that you're not gonna make it hard. Let me show you why. Work on your partnership, give your relationship a chance. It's not gonna be all of this effort, right? Your love life is ascending to a higher level of commitment. This is the romance of a lifetime. You're not gonna hold them accountable for past experiences. They're not gonna have to work through your traumas with you. You've already done it on your own. Or you're doing it on your own. You're not holding them accountable for the past, right? That's the energy coming through. Whether that is current partner, a crush that you're about to get to know or hoping to get to know, or a future partner. Okay? But with engagement, you are very commitment oriented, and that is, for whatever reason, refreshing. So let me get more energy for my Pile 4. Tell me what makes Pile 4 refreshing, especially from a romantic perspective. Sorry, I don't mean to knock you. It's 2. Look at that. You have clarity two times. You have see clearly now in the owl spirit, and then you have clarity. It says someone finally sees the answer that was always right in front of their eyes. The vision is clear. Therefore, what is to come shall be clear too. Look at that clarity. I think I'm only going to take these 2 in the bottom and then move on to that other deck. So you've got divine union. It says, congratulations. It's time to celebrate. Both you and your partner have healed and learned. Look, there's learning again. The important lessons to allow this union to manifest. Some of you, this is when we're talking about a specific connection, if it's not an ex, there's not an ex energy lingering, it's not going to be hard. It's not hard. Your person finds it refreshing how easy it is to talk things through, to learn, to forgive, to move past things, and to not have to do this extra hard work, okay? That a lot of connections take because you're trying to force some compatibility sometimes. Exciting news. Okay, so good news is coming your way, whether it be a pregnancy, an engagement, or moving in together. Get excited to celebrate. So good news coming through romantically for you, Pile 4. Loving that energy. Okay. And some of you, exciting news could be passion and just how excited you are to share things. This could be professional news. It could be love-based news, but you do have exciting news coming in, I will say, because that is a direct message. But I think your person, current, incoming, right, is very passionate about just everything and experiencing everything with you. All right. So let me just close this out with this Twin Flame Soulmate Oracle deck. I think I want 3. We'll see 2, 3, whatever comes out, and then we will shut it down. Okay. So let's see what's refreshing about my Pile 4s. I don't mean to knock you, but I'm at an awkward angle now because I don't know. I just am. Okay, tell me about Pile 4. What makes Pile 4 refreshing and attractive? Okay. Divine timing. Everything you do is right on schedule. Whether it's part of your routine, whether it's your decision making, everything just happens the way that it should. Like even your person, even the way you meet your person or have met your person, it just happened at the right time. It just happens when it's supposed to. It flows naturally as it's supposed to. And that is just really refreshing to people you're dating and also just people in general. Like everything you do is on time. You're always right on the money. Okay? Love that energy coming through. Give me more energy for Pile 4. You may have wanted to pick Pile 2. And I only say that because I was thinking Pile 2 instead of Pile 4. And then I looked and I remembered that the crossroads is 22. But you do have the future, which I guess I'll leave here with divine union, right? Because it's same energy, literally same energy. So a lot of you, the person you're asking about, if you're asking about someone specifically, will be the person you actually marry, like gown and all. Like I'm saying cap and gown like graduation, but like, you know what I mean, gown and all, veil and gown and all. Definitely check out my Who You'll Marry reading and see if it resonates, since that's coming through twice. And you have divine twice. And I think I described this pile as my divine masculine leaning pile. So let me get one more. We'll take the bottom. Others of you, if you're single, the person that is coming in will be someone that you will marry, right? Engagement, clear engagement, divine union in the future, right? Exciting news, which actually talks about an engagement. Hidden feelings. So if you're asking, I think it's funny that it came out, and black and gold could be very relevant because black, white, and gold could be very relevant because there's a lot of other colors in this deck. And for whatever reason, those are the only 3 colors you've gotten so far. But my people that are asking about a crush, right? Because I got my exes, I got my current partners, I got my people with the future. If you're talking about a crush where it's not clear, we have hidden feelings and a mask. So someone here may be hiding their feelings or whatnot, but also you may not be the most open and expressive emotionally, right? So when you do, it feels like very refreshing. I don't know why that came out that way, but you have elusive at the bottom. So it's something that has been avoiding you. I'm going to assume that love has been avoiding you. You've been very focused on your health, wellness, spirituality, professional, especially since you have the 7 of crystals, just kind of getting ahead and building up yourself with this Aries house 1 energy. But, you know, in the right time, the right person will come in if they're not around now. And even though it's been elusive, okay? So don't mind that. And I will say, from a non-romantic perspective, the word elusive feels like this mysterious woo-woo energy of the pile, right? My deeply spiritual, religious, and or just the energy that clouds you, right? Something about your aura, your energy. Like I said, even if you're not deeply spiritual or religious, you still have heavy spiritual energy surrounding you, whether you want to know that or not. It is there, and that makes you feel very elusive to people, okay? But yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna lie, this is my getting married pile. I'm not saying you have somebody, but in the right divine timing, someone's gonna come in, you'll get engaged. Literally, it's here twice, and you'll get married. It's literally here twice on both sides. You can pause and like zoom in if it makes you feel better, but I did hold up the cards. Okay, so I'm gonna close it out for you now. Love this energy for you, pile 4. Very refreshing indeed. So hopefully it resonated. If it did, please like, comment, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you can stay in the know on the content we post here on this channel. Thank you for watching.